Chapter 622. After the car entered the fast lane, it was unimpeded all the way. The journey of less than half an hour was absolutely nothing for Su Yun, who had recently been driving far away, but for Zhang Meng, who couldn't stand Su Yun's various ways of finding trouble, it was a bit long. Zhang Meng felt that the worst thing he had ever done in his life was to put up with such a guy who kept pushing his bottom line. Because Su Yun not only smoked on the road, but also flicked the ash all over the car. In Su Yun's words, he was already giving face to the big boss by not throwing the cigarette but on the luxurious leather seat of the car. As long as Zhang Meng said one more word, Su Yun would retort, "The car isn't even yours. You're just basking in my limelight. Big boss arranged for you to pick me up in a car. If I say that I don't want to go with you or sit in the same car as you, then you'll have to run and roll back. Do you understand?" For such a guest, Zhang Meng couldn't wait to slap himself. He really hated it to the roots of his teeth. After the car finally reached the destination, Zhang Meng's resentment in his heart was half relieved. As soon as the car entered the gate of the club and stopped outside a beautiful 3-story building, Zhang Meng couldn't wait to open the door and get out of the car. The impostor, who had been seen through by Su Yun at first glance, could only lower his head like a defeated rooster and resentfully open the door and leave. Su Yun sat in the car and looked at the scenery and trees through the open door and window. This was definitely a place with good feng shui. It was surrounded by mountains in the east, west, and north, and there was a natural lake in the south. It could be said that it was a picturesque place with mountains and water on one side. Of course, it was only one of the most basic principles of feng shui. The mountains were the skeleton of the earth, and the water was the source of all living things. Without water, people couldn't live. Although Su Yun was not a fortune-telling master, he was still very interested in feng shui. He had read a book called 10 Books of Yang House a long time ago, which was a book from the Qing dynasty. It said that the place where people lived should be based on the earth, mountains, and rivers. Its origin was the most powerful, and it was the most important thing for people to live in. Therefore, the study of feng shui emphasized mountain topography and put the small environment into the big environment. Su Yun's geographical knowledge was not bad. He was naturally more clear about the geographical situation of his own country, Huaxia. Every 8 degrees or so, there was a large latitudinal structure, such as the Yinshan latitudinal structure of Tianshan Mountain, the Qinling latitudinal structure of Kunlun Mountain, the Nanling latitudinal structure, and so on. Therefore, there is a saying, "In the world, there must be a river between 2 mountains, and there must be a road above the river." Huaxia's mountain ranges were divided into 4 rows and 9 mountains. Su Yun remembered reading a book about the basic knowledge of feng shui. Feng shui was particular about the continuous mountain range called the Dragon Vein. The Dragon Veins originated from the Kunlun Mountains in the northwest, and 3 dragon veins extended to the southeast. The Northern Dragon entered Shaanxi from the Yin Mountains and the Helan Mountains, starting from Taiyuan and crossing the sea. Middle Dragon went from Min Mountain to Guangzhou, to Qin Mountain to the sea. The South Dragon went from Yunnan to Guizhou, Hunan, Fujian, and Zhejiang to the sea. Every dragon vein had Dry Dragon, Branch Dragon, True Dragon, False Dragon, Flying Dragon, Hidden Dragon, and Flash Dragon. To survey feng shui, one must first understand the ins and outs, and follow the direction of the dragon vein. The shape of the dragon vein was different from the power. 1,000 feet was the power, 100 feet was the form. The power was the distant view, and the form was the close view. The power was the worship of the form, and the form was the accumulation of the power. The power was then formed, and the form was then known. The power was outside, and the form was inside. The power was like a city wall, and the form was like a pavilion. The power was like a group of undulating peaks, and the form was like a single mountain. It was difficult to recognize the power, but easy to observe the form. The power was like a dragon, like a horse galloping, like the waves of water. It wanted to be big and strong, different and specialized, and go smoothly. The form had to be thick, accumulating, and hiding qi. Su Yun did not get out of the car for a long time. Zhang Meng could not bear it anymore. He walked to the car door and said to him, "We've arrived." "What are you doing in the car?" "Get out." The big boss has been waiting for you for a long time. What else do you want? Don't be too unappreciative. Can you not speak so immaturely? Su Yun disdainfully lit another cigarette. I'm already here. I've given you all the face. Your big boss arranged a substitute to pick me up. It's good enough that I'm not angry. Since I've arrived, he should more or less come out to welcome me personally, right? That's the way to treat a guest. Don't be so shameless. Zhang Meng spat. If you don't have a light in your heart, you'll die miserably. You'd better follow me in before the big boss gets angry. Su Yun looked at Zhang Meng without blinking. Logically speaking, you should hope that I'm the kind of person who doesn't have a light in my heart, right? You must also hope that I die miserably. Hee, now I'm giving you a chance to extinguish the light in my heart. Don't you want to seize it? Zhang Meng was stunned. He began to recall the meaning of Su Yun's words. Soon, he understood. How is it? My suggestion isn't bad, right? Su Yun saw the resolution in his eyes. Go and find your big boss. Ask him to pick me up at the car door. If he gets angry after hearing this, then he'll definitely order you to kill me directly. I'll wait in the car, waiting for you at any time. Zhang Meng's eyes spewed out a strong anger. He sneered. You asked for it. Then don't blame me for being merciless. Su Yun nodded. Yes, I asked for it. You don't have to give me any face. Go, do what a lackey should do. Humph. Zhang Meng couldn't care less about Su Yun's words. He hoped to see the big boss immediately and get the big boss's order to kill this unappreciative bastard. Only in this way could he vent the hatred in his heart. Because he had some knowledge of feng shui, Su Yun knew very well that it was best to have a mountain of court cases where the dragon veins gathered. The mountain of court cases was like a mountain in the shape of an arched table in the court, like the ministers surrounding the monarch. The mountain of court cases could block the wind and was very interesting. There was a book called Zhu Zi's Language that mentioned the environment of Yanjing. The book described it like this. Jidu mountain range came from the clouds, surrounded by the Yellow River. Mount Tai towered to the left as a dragon. Mount Hua towered to the right as a tiger. Mount Song was the first case, the mountains of Huainan were the second case, and the mountains of Jiangnan were the third case. Since ancient times, there was no better place to build a capital than Jidu. With Yanjing as the center, the mountains of the country as the court cases to show the superiority of Yanjing's geographical environment. Observing the small environment from the big environment, one could know the restrictions and influences of the small environment, such as water sources, climate, products, geology, and so on. The good or bad luck of any piece of land was determined by the big environment. Just like a traditional Chinese doctor who felt the pulse, one could know the general condition of the body from the pulse, because this was determined by the function of the cardiovascular system. Only when the situation was perfect would the land be perfect. Every city was built. Every building, every factory, they should first investigate the environment of the mountains and rivers. Looking at the big picture and working on the small, there would be no worries, and then the fortune would be great. Obviously, the private clubhouse that Su Yun saw now, with the big environment of Guqin Island, was definitely comparable to the central location of Yanjing in the country. That was why Su Yun dared to say that this place was a place with good feng shui. Whether it was the big environment or the small environment, he could not find any problems with this place. If Su Yun was forced to say that this place was not good, Su Yun could only say that the owner of this place was not a good person. But since ancient times, how many real good people could occupy such a precious place with good feng shui? Su Yun's unappreciative behavior was definitely not to anger the big boss who invited him here. He knew very well that the more unappreciative he was, the more interested that person would be in him. If he behaved very obediently, he would not be able to arouse the big boss's interest in him soon. Su Yun's prediction of the cut was so accurate. Indeed, Su Yun's unappreciative behavior made the big boss more interested in Su Yun. It was not that he had never seen a master or a supermaster. There were supermasters working for him, so he definitely did not care about Su Yun being a supermaster. What he cared more about was Su Yun's character. So when Zhang Meng came to the big boss and told him about Su Yun's request, the big boss was not angry. Instead, he waved his hand and slapped Zhang Meng, scolding him. "Trash, I asked you to pick him up and treat him like a distinguished guest. You must have done something out of line to make the guest make such a request." Zhang Meng was angry, but he did not dare to say anything. "I didn't. It's just that the guy surnamed Su went too far. He doesn't know how to appreciate favors. You are like this in front of me. If you are not in front of me, you might have said something to Mr. Su to anger him." The big boss's deep eyes made Zhang Meng unable to see what he was thinking. However, he was sure that he had never shown such great interest in a person. He really did not know who this guy surnamed Su was. He actually made the big boss so interested. The big boss, who had not hit Zhang Meng for so many years, actually slapped Zhang Meng again. After this slap, the big boss seemed to suddenly realize that Zhang Meng was someone who had followed him through life and death. He had blocked knives and guns for him. He immediately comforted him. "I didn't want to slap you just now. I wanted you to remember that you can't have any personal feelings when you do things. Little Meng, you have been with me for so many years. You should be very clear about my character. There are not many people I can trust, but you are one of them. So you can rest assured that even if someone I like comes to me, you will never have a place in front of me. Do you understand what I mean? Thank you for your appreciation, boss. Little Meng is unable to repay you. I am willing to sacrifice my life for the boss." Zhang Meng seemed to enjoy the feeling of being valued. But then again, Su Yun's request was really too much. In this clubhouse, no one had enjoyed the treatment of being welcomed by the big boss. Ordinary people were lucky enough to be invited here. It was already a great honor given by the big boss. "Boss, but that kid's request is really too much." Zhang Meng said, "You have a distinguished status. No matter what, you can't personally pick him up, right? If this were to spread out, wouldn't it be a disgrace to you?" Chapter 623. No one could change the big boss's mind. Zhang Meng was very clear that the big boss's interest in Su Yun was far greater than his interest in all of them. Even he and Liu Bei had not received such high interest and appreciation from the big boss back then. Even though he was now the most trusted assistant of the big boss, and Liu Bei was the most valued captain of the big boss. Just now, the big boss said that he trusted Zhang Meng the most, but Zhang Meng didn't think so. Since Liu Bei betrayed him, Zhang Meng felt the big boss's change. He didn't trust anyone, including himself. And not only did he lose trust in his own people, but he also became more alert to any partners. What the big boss said to Zhang Meng just now was just to appease him. Zhang Meng knew it very well. But he didn't dare to say no. But he really didn't understand why the big boss, who had lost trust in all of them, was so interested in a guy who disturbed his plan in the ice forest of Xing and Mountain. After the big boss made the decision, Zhang Meng didn't say anything. He quietly watched the big boss put on his coat and walked out of his reception room. Zhang Meng followed him out. He would never disobey the big boss again. The slap just now was a good warning. "Li, go and prepare some tea." After the big boss walked out of the reception room, he said to Li Chun, the female assistant in charge of everything in the club. Li Chun nodded at once. "Yes, big boss. What do you want to drink?" "Well..." The big boss thought for a while and shook his head. "Wait a minute. When the guest comes up, ask him what tea he wants. We Huaxia people are particular about drinking tea. I don't know whether my guest likes black tea or green tea, whether he likes guanyin or oolong. Ha ha ha, I'll prepare it later. Don't worry, don't worry." "Yes." Li Chun obeyed everything the big boss said. She knew clearly what she should do and what she shouldn't do. The big boss was 53 years old. His surname was Bao Tianxia. Since he was a child, his family hoped that he could be ambitious and tolerant. Bao Tianxia, who was born poor, didn't let his family down. He made his first pot of gold when he just entered society at the age of 16. Of course, his first bucket of gold was not so easy to earn. He earned it by helping a group of tomb robbers in Changsha. At that time, The group of people had agreed with him that they would only act as a lookout and that they would give him 10,000 yuan after the deed was done. However, when the group of grave robbers returned empty-handed, they only gave Bao Tianxia 1,000 pieces. At that time, Bao Tianxia didn't understand the logic behind this, but he could see the huge disappointment in these people's expressions. He knew that they really didn't earn much, even if it was 1,000. Because it was their first time working together, even if those guys returned empty-handed, they still gave Bao Tianxia a lookout commission of 1,000 yuan. Therefore, Bao Tianxia felt that this group of people was quite reliable. After all, when Bao Tianxia was still a child, 1,000 yuan was definitely a huge sum of money. That was why there was a second cooperation. Bao Tianxia could see the true joy and excitement on their faces after their second cooperation. Of course, they agreed to pay Bao Tianxia 10,000 yuan as commission this time, so the other party gave it to him without hesitation. But this time, Bao Tianxia made a request. "I want 100,000. At that time, the group of grave robbers thought that he was crazy and gave him a good beating. They asked him if he was indulging in fantasy and daydreaming. 100,000 yuan from Bao Tianxia's mouth was an exorbitant price to that group of people. It was too much. He was just a lookout. He didn't experience the danger of corpse poison, didn't fight with dumplings that suddenly appeared, and didn't get hurt by the ancient tomb's traps. How could he get 100,000 yuan? However, Bao Tianxia's reason was very simple. The first time you went to the tomb, you didn't get anything, so you only gave me 1/10 of the commission. I didn't have any complaints. Therefore, this time you have a great harvest. Even if you give me 10 times the commission, it wouldn't be too much." The market price at that time was very clear. There were only 2 lookouts, and even the most experienced lookout could only get 20,000 yuan at most. No matter what good things they obtained in the tomb, they were exchanged for by risking their lives. Bao Tianxia, who didn't know the rules, was not only beaten up, but also chased away without getting a single cent. As for why those people didn't give him a single cent, it was because they wanted to charge him for teaching him the rules. Asking for an exorbitant price was an act that broke the rules. They taught Bao Tianxia, so they should take the education fee from his pocket. Bao Tianxia, who couldn't accept the current situation, kept a grudge in his heart. Although he was chased away, he didn't stray too far from the group of tomb robbers. He found a blacksmith shop and stole a sharp dagger. In the dead of the night, they sneaked into the house where the grave robbers lived. Because they had made a fortune this time, they drank a lot of wine and fell asleep drunk. Everyone forgot that Bao Tianxia had the key to the house. This group of people who didn't set up any defenses had their throats slit by Bao Tianxia overnight. The smart Bao Tianxia killed one of them and threw the stone into the Yangtze River. He then left with all the loot. When the police investigated in the future, they followed the clues and found everyone in the tomb robber group, but only one person was missing. All the reasoning was focused on the missing person. Everyone was confused by the scene and thought that it was an internal conflict. The missing person killed everyone and left with the loot. Because there wasn't such advanced technology back then, they couldn't find the person who was thrown into the Yangtze River by Bao Tianxia. In the end, the case was left unsolved. After the commotion died down, Bao Tianxia brought the loot to Beijing. He heard from the tomb robbers that there was a ghost market in Beijing that sold goods in the wee hours of the morning. Bao Tianxia came to Beijing to sell this batch of goods. Although things didn't go smoothly after that, Bao Tianxia relied on his cleverness to avoid danger. In the end, he made a fortune from selling this batch of goods. At that time, he suddenly realized that compared to the several million value of this batch of goods, even if he wanted 100,000 as a lookout, it paled in comparison. Therefore, Bao Tianxia used this money to recruit his own people to search for clues all over the country. Unknowingly, he became the largest tomb robber group in Huaxia. Because this kind of thing was done secretly and carefully, it was hard to be discovered. In addition, Bao Tianxia was smart and cautious when selling goods, so he was never caught. Later on, the country's crackdown on this aspect became stricter and stricter. Bao Tianxia set up his own multinational trading company. This was a company that sold dog meat under the sheep's head. Its only use was to use the excuse of foreign trade to transport national treasures to the high seas and then conduct on-site transactions on the high seas. Although it had become a secret that was no longer a secret, Bao Qianxia had never revealed it to the public. It wasn't that the police didn't investigate Bao Qianxia, but now the police needed evidence. Without evidence, they couldn't do anything to someone like Bao Qianxia. Bao Qianxia relied on his brain and the skills he gained from fighting with Zongzi in the ancient tomb to reach his current position step by step. If what he did was not illegal or criminal, he could really be considered a genius of his generation. Smart people always knew when to do what. This was why Bao Qianxia had such a strong interest in Su Yun. He lost so many people in the Battle of Xing and Mountain Range's snow forest, including his own son. Now he was short of manpower. Moreover, that damn snow forest of Xing and Mountain Range seemed to have been set up by someone. Even if he knew the coordinates of that place and arranged for people to search for it, they would never be able to get past that forest of cedar trees. In such a harsh environment, it was impossible to rely on manual logging. The forest was too dense and couldn't be cleared in 1 or 2 years. Moreover, there would be forest police patrolling every week. It was a protected forest, so it was impossible to get a logging permit. After considering all kinds of factors, Bao Qianxia made the most important decision, which was to recruit Su Yun, who had done something absolutely unforgivable to him this time. Only by taking down Su Yun could he solve all the problems he was facing. This was why Bao Qianxia didn't directly arrange for people to kill Su Yun when he found him. Instead, he sincerely invited him. When Bao Qianxia came downstairs, he saw Su Yun sitting in his luxurious car and smoking. He didn't care at all when he flicked the ash. Although it couldn't be said that his car was dirty, it still made Bao Qianxia a little unhappy. However, people of his age and status didn't have patience and endurance that young people didn't have. This was the difference between him and Zhang Meng. Even if he didn't like Su Yun, he still smiled and said to Su Yun, "Brother Su, I invited you here without telling you in advance. You won't mind, right?" "Of course I will," Su Yun said bluntly. "If I find a few people to take you to a strange place without saying anything, wouldn't you be annoyed? Would you mind?" Bao Qianxia raised his head and laughed a few times to calm himself down. "If it's someone I want to get to know, I won't mind. Unfortunately, I don't want to get to know the big boss." Su Yun didn't want to give him any face at all. "I think you don't want to live anymore." Zhang Meng's heart twitched. This guy is really too infuriating. The big boss still said to Zhang Meng with a straight face, "Shut up." Zhang Meng turned around angrily and breathed heavily. If it weren't for the big boss, he would have definitely hit Su Yun. Zhang Meng hadn't felt this kind of grievance for many years. Why would the big boss treat him like this because of a bastard? "Mr. Su, my people don't know any better." "Ha ha ha." Bao Qianxia laughed like a Maitreya Buddha. There was no trace of malice in him. Su Yun retorted, "Since Big Boss asked me to come here, he definitely wants to get to know me. Just now, you said that if someone you want to get to know brought you to an unfamiliar place without a second word, you wouldn't mind. Am I right?" Bao Qianxia didn't say anything. He narrowed his eyes and looked at Su Yun. He didn't understand what Su Yun wanted to do. Su Yun got out of the car quickly and opened the door of the driver's seat. He directly pulled the driver out of the car and sat in the driver's seat. He said to Bao Qianxia, "Big boss, get in the car. If you want to talk to me, I'll take you to a strange place. This time, you won't be a substitute, right?" Bao Qianxia's lips curled into a mysterious smile. He walked to the car without hesitation. "Okay, Mr. Su has the final say." Chapter 624. Bao Qianxia ignored Zhang Meng's advice and got into his car resolutely. He seemed to be willing to risk everything to take down Su Yun. Nobody could understand this. Bao Qianxia had arranged for a stand-in to pick up Su Yun because he was afraid that he would be hurt when he was alone with Su Yun. Even though Zhang Meng was in the passenger seat, he didn't have enough confidence to guarantee that he wouldn't be hurt. However, there was only Su Yun in the car this time. Bao Qianxia sat in the car without hesitation, as if he had forgotten all the dangers of life and death. Big boss. It's too dangerous. Zhang Meng didn't stop persuading Bao Qianxia, but Bao Qianxia had already sat in the car. With a crash, the door closed, and the engine roared. Zhang Meng immediately ordered all his men present. Everyone, get in the car. Don't let him take the big boss away. At this time, Su Yun had already stepped on the gas pedal. The car was like a wild beast, rushing out with a roar. However, Su Yun didn't drive the car out of the clubhouse's entrance. Instead, he drove directly to the natural lake in the south of the clubhouse. The car was only about 200 meters away from the lake. Therefore, as soon as it sped up, Su Yun immediately stepped on the brakes. The tires left a 30-meter black line on the ground, and the front of the car accurately stopped half a meter away from the lake. All of this happened in less than 10 seconds. Zhang Meng and his subordinates didn't even have time to start the car when Su Yun seemed to have had enough fun. Bao Qianxia had always thought that he had good self-control and was calm in the face of danger. However, Su Yun's inexplicable move still made him break out in a cold sweat. If Su Yun hadn't stepped on the brakes, they would have sunk to the bottom of the lake together with the car. Although Bao Qianxia was sure that his subordinates would save them, he still had lingering fears. Big Boss is indeed the big boss. He's always calm. Su Yun said lightly, but why didn't you come personally the second time you picked me up? Were you afraid that I would attack you in the car? Why aren't you afraid that I will take you away and kill you this time? Bao Qianxia thought for a moment before replying, perhaps it's because we hit it off at first sight. When I first saw Brother Su, I felt that there was fate between us. That's why I got in the car. I knew that we would definitely cooperate in the future, and you wouldn't do anything to me. Am I right? Su Yun smirked. Is the big boss always so self-righteous? If that's the case, I can only say that I've disappointed you. I didn't drive you out because I know very well that even if I drove you out, your people would still chase after me. Even if I have the chance to kill you, your people will also have the chance to kill me. Moreover, I'm not 100% sure whether you're the real big boss or just another senior substitute of the big boss. I won't trade my life for the life of someone who might be a substitute. Ha 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 ha. Bao Qianxia raised his head and laughed. I can only say that I'm grateful that you think so highly of me. In this world, it's already very difficult to find someone who looks like me and can be persuaded to be my substitute. Where am I going to find a second one? I'm afraid that even the most wanted terrorist organization leader in the world only has 2 substitutes. Ha ha, you really think too highly of me, brother. The technology of human skin masks is very advanced now. I'm not thinking that highly of the big boss. Please don't misunderstand, big boss. Su Yun bluntly tore apart the big boss face. If you think that I think highly of you, then you think too highly of yourself. The smile on Bao Qianxia's face finally disappeared. Mr. Su, if you've been testing my bottom line, then I can only say that you've won. I've already treated you well. If Mr. Su is still dissatisfied, then I can only say sorry. Su Yun shook his head. No. Of course, I'm not dissatisfied with anything. I'm already very satisfied that the big boss has tolerated me until now. Then Mr. Su, shouldn't you also talk to me about how you saw through my substitute? Bao Qianxia said, my substitute has done a lot of things for me. I really want to know where I saw through him. Tell me, Mr. Su, and I'll consider it as returning a favor. I do owe the big boss a favor for not killing me. Su Yun smiled faintly. How can a person without any domineering aura be the leader of such a large transnational criminal organization? I admit that the big boss substitute is almost exactly the same as you. Even his voice is exactly the same as yours. He imitates all kinds of behaviors and behaviors flawlessly. But the only thing he lacks is the confidence and domineering aura between his eyebrows. Bao Qianxia heard this and nodded repeatedly. Brother Su, you really have good eyesight. Even my people can't see this. Unless I stand with him, they can distinguish who is the real me from the aura. No one will suspect that he's not me if I ask him to do anything alone. It seems that I'll have to ask my substitute to enhance his confidence and domineering aura for the next step. If the big boss doesn't want to cause big trouble, then I don't think it's necessary to ask the substitute to enhance his confidence and domineering aura. Su Yun smiled faintly. I'm telling you this because I want to give you some face. I hope you won't make things difficult for me when I leave later. Go ahead. Bao Tianxia looked at Su Yun. He didn't understand why Su Yun didn't let his substitute practice to be more like him. Su Yun narrowed his eyes. If the substitute also has confidence and domineering aura, then who is the real big boss? Hee, I think the big boss should be very clear that if you and your substitute can't even distinguish you when you stand together, then who dares to say that he's a fake and you're the real one? Bao Tianxia was completely unaware that he had already broken out in cold sweat. Su Yun's words reminded him too much. He had never thought about this problem before. If his substitute could be like him one day, then wouldn't he be in danger at any time? Brother Su, thank you. Bao Tianxia said, I'll accept this favor. If you want to leave later, I won't make things difficult for you. Then I can be at ease to be a guest in the Big Boss private club. As Su Yun spoke, he had already put the car into reverse gear. It was the same accelerator speed and braking strength as before. The car followed the same route as before and was parked in its original position. It was like a video rewinding. Bao Tianxia was so shocked that he couldn't speak for a long time. Su Yun was definitely a talent among talents. Whether it was in terms of observation ability, analysis ability, execution ability, or personal strength, he was an absolute talent. If he could get such a talent, Bao Tianxia absolutely believed that he would be like a tiger that had grown wings. Seeing that the car had returned, Zhong Meng and his subordinates hurriedly got out of the car and surrounded it. Zhong Meng opened the car door. Big boss, are you okay? With your mental strength, there's a world of difference between you and Mr. Su, Bao Tianxia said indifferently. Quickly open the door for my distinguished guest. I want to have a good chat with Mr. Su. Zhong Meng was completely dumbfounded. He originally thought that the big boss would immediately order him to bring his subordinates to kill this reckless guy. He didn't expect the big boss to appreciate Su Yun even more. What happened? What did they talk about just now? Zhong Meng's curiosity was piqued, but no one could help him solve the mystery. Without waiting for Zhong Meng to open the door, Su Yun directly opened the door and got out of the car. He walked side by side with Bao Tianxia unceremoniously. The subordinates immediately opened the door for them. After the two of them entered the room, only Zhong Meng was left outside, confused. Zhong Meng really didn't understand. What ability did Su Yun have to make the big boss so infatuated with him? Did he agree to be with the big boss? Just as Zhong Meng pushed the door open and was about to chase after them, he heard the big boss's order from the front. All of you, guard outside. Without my order, no one is allowed to come in and disturb my conversation with Mr. Su. Yes. Zhong Meng could only obediently close the door and leave. He was unwilling to give up and fiercely punched the wall. He wished so much that he could teach Su Yun a lesson, but why did the big boss tolerate it until now? Damn it. Don't give him a chance. As long as he had a chance, he would definitely kill Su Yun and not let him have a chance to breathe. At this moment, Zhong Meng could only pray that Su Yun's various actions annoyed the big boss. Eventually, the big boss wouldn't be able to stand him and would order him to kill him. Bao Tianxia brought Su Yun to his luxuriously decorated private reception room. Li Chun immediately followed them in. Mr. Su, what would you like to drink? Our boss has all kinds of good tea here. The tea that the big boss likes is naturally the best of the best. Whatever the big boss likes to drink, that's what he usually likes to drink. Hua Xia people are particular about the guest following the host's wishes. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, don't you think so? Su Yun said, I don't have any special interest in tea. As long as it's good tea, I like it. We are the same in this regard. Bao Tianxia laughed. I don't have any special interests. As long as it's good tea, I like to drink it. Shaoli, go prepare the best white tea that Mr. Qi gave me not long ago. I think it's very good. Today, I'll let Mr. Su share it with me. Yes, boss. Li Chun immediately turned and left to prepare the tea in the pantry. Su Yun looked around at the layout and furnishings of the room and smiled. It seems that the big boss is a very particular person. He has done a lot of research on feng shui. Whether it is the establishment of this club, the furniture in this room, or the placement of the fish tank, they are all very particular. Bao Tianxia's face was expressionless. He only said that he knew a little. As the big boss behind the grave robbers, if he didn't even know a little about feng shui, how could he determine which places had good things? How could he determine which tombs belonged to the rich and famous? Bao Tianxia's feng shui research could be said to be at the level of a master. Even if he were to publish a book now, he could guarantee that it would be sold out all over the country. It definitely wasn't the kind of words that were all over the sky. It was definitely not a word of wisdom. Chapter 625. Bao Tianxia also took a sip of tea. He put down the teacup and said, "Since Mr. Su is a straightforward person, I'll be frank." "I'm all ears," Su Yun said. "I admire Mr. Su very much, and Mr. Su can see that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come all the way to Qingdao to meet you." Bao Tianxia smiled. Su Yun smiled and leaned on the soft lambskin sofa. "Big boss, speaking of which, I still want to interrupt and ask a question. How did you know I would be on Qingdao? And how did you find me in such a short time? I really admire you for that." Bao Tianxia spread his hands. "What's so hard about that? Mr. Su, you know that lawyer Wang works for me. He handles all of my company's lawsuits. I pay him a lot of money every year. Since his daughter Wang Xinyu is an artist under Sky Entertainment Group, I naturally know where you are." Su Yun nodded. It was just as he'd guessed. Bao Tianxia was able to find him so quickly because of lawyer Wang. When lawyer Wang told me that Mr. Su was the true successor of Sky Entertainment Group, I couldn't believe it. Bao Tianxia said, "Until now, I still don't understand the relationship between Zhang Taisui and Mr. Su. Why are you the true successor of Sky Entertainment Group? Why would such a proud woman like White Lips Bamboo Yeching willingly work for you? Brother Su, please don't blame me for calling you that. I just want to get close to you." "Ha ha ha. You believe lawyer Wang just because he said that? Aren't you afraid that he's just making things up?" Su Yun took another sip of tea. "To be honest, I don't have anything to do with Sky Entertainment Group. I haven't really taken over Sky Entertainment Group. It doesn't matter if you've taken over Sky Entertainment Group or not. At least I found you at Sky Entertainment Group's most important Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. This proves that lawyer Wang isn't joking with his daughter's life." Bao Tianxia said confidently, "I don't trust lawyer Wang because I give him a lot of money every year. It's because his daughter is in my hands. I believe that he won't speak carelessly." Su Yun suddenly frowned. "Big boss, the matter between you and me is a personal grudge between us. There's no need to involve the innocent." Bao Tianxia waved his hand. "No, of course not. I'm a reasonable person. I won't do anything to harm the innocent. Brother Su, please rest assured." "Ha ha ha, it seems that younger brother Su is young and romantic. You can be considered to be affectionate and righteous towards Wang Xinyu. It was not in vain that she refused to reveal your identity." Su Yun's gaze suddenly turned a little cold. He hated people who talked about innocent people the most. Bao Tianxia seemed to have noticed Su Yun's displeasure. "Brother Su, don't worry. I definitely didn't let anyone touch your woman. I only scared her a little. I definitely didn't hurt her. I know very well that even if she doesn't say anything, her father won't hide anything from me, so you can rest assured." "Does Big Boss think that mental injury isn't considered injury?" Su Yun said coldly. "If younger brother Su thinks that it's considered injury, then we're even. Just now, you drove me into the lake. You already caused me mental injury." Bao Tianxia said, "That's reasonable, right?" Su Yun snorted. The other party's reaction was really fast. He was able to link the things that Bao Tianxia did to him in such a short time. He was really smart. Then, where is Wang Xinyu now? Shouldn't Big Boss tell me about it? Bao Qianxia pointed at himself. Of course, she's the same as me. Other than some mental shock, nothing happened to her. Big Boss, I believe that you are a person who keeps your word. Since you said so, it means that she must be safe. Su Yun said, if Big Boss really wants to talk to me about something, then I hope that you won't involve any innocent people. Because I have nothing to say to someone who would implicate innocent people. Younger brother Su, you're too serious. Ha ha ha, of course I won't harm innocent people. Bao Qianxia said, younger brother Su, I've already told you everything that you want to know. Shouldn't it be my turn to speak? Su Yun stretched out his hand and made an inviting gesture. I'm really sorry for interrupting Big Boss. Bao Qianxia smiled and said, I admire people like younger brother Su, so I hope that you can cooperate with me. If younger brother doesn't mind that I'm too old, let's become sworn brothers in this place of mine. In the future, if I have Bao Qianxia, there will also be younger brother Su. If I divide the world into 3 parts, there will also be 3 parts for you. Su Yun cupped his fists and said, I'm flattered. How can a capable person be flattered? I believe that no matter who it is, they would want to know someone as capable as younger brother Su Yun. Bao Qianxia said, younger brother Su Yun, believe me. As long as you're willing to cooperate with me, I believe that the world will be ours sooner or later. Big Boss, it's a peaceful era now, not a war era. Heroes and ambitious people will only appear in troubled times, but these 2 types of people will never appear in peaceful times. Su Yun said indifferently, I'm very clear about Big Boss's ambition, and I'm also very clear that Big Boss is definitely a giant of an era. But I still feel that this isn't something that should be done in peaceful times. I'm sorry, but I'm not interested. Bao Qianxia seemed to have already expected that Su Yun would say this, so he didn't look surprised at all. He smiled and said indifferently, younger brother Su, I haven't even stated my conditions, and you've already rejected me. Ha ha ha, isn't this a bit too hasty? I'm too young and don't understand some things. Big Boss, please don't take it to heart. Su Yun said, since Big Boss said so, then I really want to hear what conditions you have for me. Bao Qianxia smiled and shook his head. He pointed to the teacup and said, drink tea, drink tea. Drinking tea was like tasting life. Fragrance and bitterness coexisted, but no matter how bitter it was, it couldn't cover up the fragrance. With this cup of the highest quality white tea, Su Yun felt that he didn't come in vain. At least he was able to enjoy something that he couldn't normally enjoy. Younger brother Su Yun, how much does your Sky Entertainment Group make every year? Bao Qianxia asked. Su Yun shook his head. I said, I have no intention of taking over Sky Entertainment Group. As for how much it makes, I naturally don't know. If I were to estimate, it should be quite a lot. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to support so many A-list celebrities. Haha, people in China are very fond of big theaters these days. If you film a good movie, you'll be able to make a few $100 million, right? Younger brother Su really is low-key. If I'm not wrong, Sky Entertainment Group can make at least $10 billion a year in the entertainment industry. Bao Qianxia said, a few billion a year. That's an astronomical figure for anyone. Sky Entertainment Group will definitely be the leader of the Xia entertainment industry. Big Boss, you must be joking. 10 billion is a bit exaggerated. Su Yun shook his head. Although I'm not in this line of work, I'm afraid that's true. Not every line of work is like yours, where it's easy to make money. Bao Qianxia smiled. I'm not done yet. Younger brother Su, although Sky Entertainment Group's annual profits are frighteningly high, there's also the high taxes, the signing fees for artists, the commissions for big-name directors, the salaries of all kinds of employees, and the operating expenses of the group. If all of these are factored in, Sky Entertainment Group won't have much money left each year, right? And as far as I know, Sky Entertainment Group wants to turn the Qingdao Film Plaza into the Hollywood of the East. They want to make the Qingdao Film Festival a red carpet event that's even better than Cannes. I'm afraid that's a huge expense. Big Boss, you don't have to worry about that. At least Sky Entertainment Group can still afford it, Su Yun said. I'm not saying that Sky Entertainment Group can't afford it. Haha, Sky Entertainment Group is so powerful, of course they can afford it, Bao Tianxia said. But in the end, how much money will actually end up in your pocket? Have you ever calculated? Is it 300 and 500 million? Su Yun smiled. Big boss, you think too highly of me. I don't have the ability to make a few 100 million a year. Bao Tianxia raised his head and laughed. Ha ha ha, so, although Sky Entertainment Group is limitless, the money that will end up in your pocket isn't much. It's about the same as your big-name artists, right? After all, you have to support the entire group. Big boss, your words have completely messed up my concept of money. Su Yun joked. I suddenly feel like the few 100 yuan in my pocket is like a few cents. I can't do anything with it. That's right, Bao Tianxia said. Let's not talk about a few 100 yuan. What can you do with a few million yuan? You can only buy a second-hand house in Yanjing. Su Yun knew what Bao Tianxia wanted to say. Then how much can you give me? Bao Tianxia raised 3 fingers. This is just a greeting gift for you. If we work together, we can make even more money every year. I guarantee that you'll get more than this every year. As long as you agree to work with me, I can give you this guarantee. Su Yun looked at Bao Tianxia's 3 fingers and said with exaggerated surprise, 300 million. Big boss is really generous. I'm really tempted. But don't but yet, Bao Tianxia said. You guessed wrong. It's not 300 million. Su Yun was stunned. Bao Tianxia definitely couldn't take out 30 million. Could it be 3 billion? Holy H*T, this guy really changed Su Yun's concept of money. Although money wasn't worth much these days, it shouldn't be this exaggerated. Seeing the shock on Su Yun's face, Bao Tianxia smiled proudly. 3 billion. I'll give you 3 billion as a greeting gift as long as you're willing to work with me. As for whether it'll be 5 billion or 8 billion a year in the future, it'll depend on your ability. Su Yun was shocked, but his mind was still clear. Big boss, I don't have the ability to do that. There are so many experts in this world. With 3 billion, what kind of people can't you hire? Brother, when you said that, I knew that although I can hire many experts with 3 billion, even experts more powerful than you, I can't hire you. But I was unable to invite you. Why do I have to invite you? Bao Tianxia said, you know better than I do. There are some things that I can hire other experts but can't do. Only you can do it. Su Yun knew that Bao Tianxia was talking about the treasure under the Pekel clan's homeland in the Xing and mountain range. Su Yun couldn't believe that the treasure under the ground was so precious that Bao Tianxia would offer him such a high price. Chapter 626. 3 billion seemed easy in Bao Tianxia's mouth, but in the eyes of 99% of the world's people, it was a huge sum of money that they would never be able to earn even if they lived for 8 lifetimes. Su Yun only showed a faint smile on his face. To be honest, he was not someone who had never seen money, nor was he someone who had never seen rich people. But in his eyes, this sum of money was still a huge sum of money, an unimaginably huge sum of money. It must be known that this was only Bao Tianxia's meeting gift. Big boss, you're really giving me the wrong impression. Has money depreciated to this extent? Su Yun said indifferently, how am I worthy of Big Boss's money? Since we've already opened up the window, I'll be frank too. With 3 billion, not to mention a bunch of super experts, I can even invite a Grandmaster Realm expert to help me with that amount of money. And to be more arrogant, I can even invite an Earth-Profound Realm expert. Bao Tianxia said with a faint smile, but I'm a very careful person. If I really invite an Earth-Profound Realm expert, do you think he'll be willing to just take 3 billion after seeing my business? He can kill me at any time and take over everything I have. Ha 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 ha. Bao Tianxia had only learned some skills from fighting zombies in ancient tombs when he was young. His strength was at most second or third rate, and this was Su Yun's overestimation of him. Such a guy, who could not be considered an expert in the underground world, was able to make a name for himself and command so many experts who were 100 times stronger than him. It must be said that his brain was terrifyingly powerful. Bao Tianxia could analyze a person's mind thoroughly, which was why he could control so many people. He was right. If he invited a Master Realm or Earth-profound realm expert, they could kill him at any time and replace him. Not to mention those experts, even the leader of the Viper expedition team, Liu Bei, who was a super expert, had rebelled against him after seeing the treasure under the Xing and mountain range. She even killed Bao Tianxia's son, Bao Qinghua. Even if Bao Tianxia did not have such vigilance before, he would definitely be very vigilant now. Even Zhang Meng, who he trusted the most, would not have the same sense of trust as before. It was said that once bitten, twice shy. This saying was not wrong at all. After being bitten by Liu Bei, Bao Tianxia probably wouldn't trust anyone in the near future. Su Yun could roughly understand what Bao Tianxia was thinking. He said that he wanted to cooperate, but in reality, he was just using Bao Tianxia. How could a person who couldn't even trust his closest subordinates trust Su Yun? Bao Tianxia wanted to use the 3 billion to gain Su Yun's trust. Then, when Su Yun was blinded by money, he would use Su Yun to obtain 10 times or even 100 times the return in the Xing and mountain range. Naturally, after this matter was over, Bao Tianxia would use the simplest method to solve the problem, which was to kill Su Yun. This was the only way he wouldn't have to worry about Su Yun's threat. Big boss, if that's the case, you're confident that you can kill me when you don't need me. That's why you're willing to cooperate with me, right? Su Yun smiled. Don't be so obvious. You'll embarrass me. I didn't say that. Although Bao Tianxia's face was expressionless, his heart skipped a beat. He didn't know what to do when Su Yun exposed his thoughts so casually. For the first time in his life, Bao Tianxia didn't know how to face a young man like this. Su Yun put down the teacup in his hand. Then, thank you for your hospitality and appreciation. However, I really don't have that kind of ambition. It doesn't matter if Sky Entertainment Corporation earns 1 million or 10 billion a year. I still prefer to live a relaxed life. At least, I don't have to do something as immoral as digging up someone's ancestral grave. The corner of Bao Tianxia's mouth twitched. If his subordinates were here, they would know that the big boss wanted to kill someone. Reincarnation comes and goes. Big boss, those who are virtuous in this life will enjoy a happy life in their next life. Those who are wicked in this life might end up working like a cow or a horse in their next life. Su Yun still had a confident smile on his face. I'm not cursing you with my foul mouth. Not long ago you lost your child. Don't you think you've done too many wicked things? Padash. The big boss couldn't take it anymore. He slapped the table, shaking the teacup. After the slap, Su Yun was prepared to be besieged at any time. In his opinion, this should be a signal to attack him. However, to Su Yun's surprise, after Bao Tianxia slapped him, none of his subordinates rushed in to attack him. Big boss, it seems like you didn't arrange it well. Or are your subordinates? Su Yun looked around and asked doubtfully. Bao Tianxia's anger seemed to have been vented with the slap. He smiled again. Brother Su, don't worry. I didn't invite you here to set up a trap. I sincerely want to be your friend and brother. Su Yun clasped his hands. I'm flattered. But I still have to go. If Brother Su has something else to do, I'll send you off. Bao Tianxia's temper was so good that Su Yun couldn't believe it. Big boss, if you're like this, then I really don't have a place in my heart. Su Yun, if anyone wants to attack me, then let them come sooner. I'm also quite restless waiting like this. You have a lot of people, so you don't have to be afraid of me. Bao Tianxia raised his head and laughed. Brother Su, have you forgotten? Before you came, I promised you that you could leave safely. Maybe you think that I'm the kind of person who would change my mind, but I want to tell you that as long as I promise you something, I'll definitely fulfill it. Thank you for your honesty, big boss. Su Yun stood up as he spoke. Big boss, continue with your business. This tea is really good. If there's a chance, come and drink another cup. Ha ha ha, see you later. Bao Tianxia naturally stood up to send him off. Brother Su is with me. The only thing I have to do is to send you off. The two left the reception room one after the other. Bao Tianxia whispered a few words in Li Chun's ear and followed Su Yun to send the guests off. Zhang Meng had been waiting outside, waiting for the big boss to press the notification bell in the reception room. He wanted them to wait outside and kill Su Yun when he came out. But what he didn't expect was that Su Yun actually walked out with the big boss while talking and laughing. Moreover, he looked radiant and didn't show any signs of breaking down. Zhang Meng, prepare a car to send my brother Su Yun back. Bao Tianxia went out and arranged things for Zhang Meng. Zhang Meng's heart was in a mess. He arranged for the Rolls-Royce that had picked up Su Yun. The big boss had repeatedly emphasized the highest specifications, so of course he had to listen. After arranging the car, he personally opened the door and respectfully sent Su Yun to the car. At this moment, the assistant, Li Chun, rushed out with the tea leaves and cigarettes that the big boss had whispered to her to prepare. She handed them to Su Yun and said, "Mr. Su, this is a little something from the big boss. He saw that you had a high opinion of his white tea, so he asked me to prepare some for you to taste. Although these 2 cigarettes are in a pure white box without a logo or brand, they are special agents that can't be bought in the world. The big boss knows that you smoke, so he asked me to give them to you." Su Yun didn't stand on ceremony and accepted them. "Thank you, big boss." Brother Su Yun. Bao Tianxia saw that Su Yun was really going to leave, so he spoke again. "I know that it's impossible for you to suddenly accept something, but I can give you time to think about it. I'm very patient with people I admire. Of course, I still hope that you can give me an answer as soon as possible. Now that Sky Entertainment Group is developing and growing, I'm afraid that it needs a lot of money. Brother Su Yun, you must remember to come to me if you need anything." As soon as Bao Tianxia finished speaking, Li Chun handed Su Yun a personal business card made of pure gold. "Mr. Su, you must keep it well." Su Yun smiled and didn't say anything. He stuffed the pure gold business card into his pocket. "Big boss, I don't think I need to tell you how to contact me. I'm afraid you already know it. Haha, even if you don't know, you can still find me easily. I'm right, aren't I? Brother Su, you're too good at joking. I'm not as omnipotent as you think. Ha ha ha, I was fortunate enough to find you this time. The other reason was because of God's instructions. God allowed me to find you, so he's hinting that we can cooperate." Bao Tianxia said. "Brother Su Yun, you must think about it carefully. I'm looking forward to your reply." Su Yun nodded. "I will. Goodbye." "Goodbye." With a gesture from Bao Tianxia, the chauffeur drove Su Yun out of his private clubhouse, which was located in a place with good feng shui. Watching the car drive away, Li Chun said to Bao Tianxia, "I'm sorry, big boss. I acted on my own initiative and gave him 2 cigarettes mixed with white powder. I just wanted to help you control him as soon as possible. I didn't mean anything else." "Xiao Li." Bao Tianxia's face was gloomy. "I know you were thinking for me, but I'm warning you. Don't do anything I didn't order you to do. I'll forgive you this time. If you act on your own initiative again, think about what I'm raising in the lake in front of me." Li Chun looked at the lake and his face changed. Zhang Meng still didn't understand why the big boss sent Su Yun away. "Big boss, since he didn't agree to submit to you, why didn't you tell us to take action? Did you really let him go just like that?" Bao Tianxia's face didn't show any smile after Su Yun left. "Have you heard of the saying, cast a long line to catch a big fish?" But Zhang Meng didn't want Su Yun to submit. He wanted to kill Su Yun with his own hands. But he's a shark. Bao Tianxia continued. "Since I want him to work for me, why don't I spend more effort on him? Xiao Meng, do you know the difference between you and him?" Zhang Meng said confidently, "Big boss, I don't think he's stronger than me." "That's right. His strength is on par with yours." Bao Tianxia pointed to his head. "But here, he's much stronger than you. Do you understand?" In this society, you can't do well just because you can fight. Most of the time, this place is the deciding factor of victory and defeat. Chapter 627. Bao Qianxia was able to achieve what he had today mainly because he knew how to judge people. It could even be said that the only person he had misjudged in his life was the captain of Team 1, Liu Bei. He knew very well what kind of person Zhang Meng was. He was a talented general who could fight and risk his life for him. However, when it came to using his brain, he was much worse than Zhang Meng. Therefore, Bao Qianxia would never only have Zhang Meng by his side. He would mess up a lot of things. Bao Qianxia needed a woman like Li Chun. She was meticulous and always liked to use her brain to solve problems. Sometimes, Li Chun would think that she was smart. For example, she took out 2 cigarettes mixed with white powder and gave them to Su Yun without Bao Qianxia's permission. Bao Qianxia wanted to get Su Yun because Su Yun was a talent with both brains and martial arts. Su Yun alone was more than enough to handle what Li Chun and Zhang Meng needed to do. Although Bao Qianxia had Li Chun and Zhang Meng by his side, 1 + 1 was still 2, not 1. After all, there were many things that could be done by 2 people and 1 person would achieve different results. No matter how good the cooperation between 2 people was, it was still not as good as cooperation between 2 people. This was why Bao Qianxia wanted to have someone like Su Yun by his side. To a certain extent, what Su Yun could do was definitely not something that Li Chun and Zhang Meng could do together. Bao Qianxia didn't want to use the white powder to control Su Yun because he wouldn't be able to get a complete Su Yun if that happened. Druggists and normal people would always think differently. If Su Yun became a drug addict, Bao Qianxia would not need it anymore. Li Chun did something that she thought was smart, but Bao Qianxia still forgave her and did not punish her. It was because Bao Qianxia believed that with Su Yun's IQ, it was impossible for him to smoke those 2 cigarettes. Although Su Yun did smoke in Bao Qianxia's car, and more than 1 cigarette, it seemed that Su Yun was really addicted to smoking. However, Bao Qianxia was certain that Su Yun was not addicted to smoking. When Su Yun was talking to him in the reception room, he didn't light a single cigarette. If he was really a heavy smoker, his first reaction when Bao Qianxia asked him to think about things would be to light up a cigarette to calm his mind. But Su Yun didn't do that, which meant that he wasn't addicted to smoking. The reason why he did that in the car was to provoke Zhang Meng. Su Yun seemed to have found Zhang Meng's trait of being easily angered in a short period of time. Su Yun was testing the other party's bottom line so that if they really fought, he would be able to know himself and his enemy and win 100 battles. Of course, this was Bao Qianxia's deduction, and it was not the direct reason why he was so certain. The direct reason why Bao Qianxia was so certain was because of Su Yun's fingers. While Su Yun was drinking tea, Bao Qianxia had carefully observed Su Yun's fingers. His fingers were long and slender, and the color of the first joint of his index finger and middle finger was the same as the rest of his fingers. A heavy smoker's first joint of his index and middle fingers would be slightly yellower than the rest of his fingers. This was the color of his skin due to long-term use of cigarette smoke. Although the color was very faint, it was very clear to people like Bao Qianxia who paid attention to details. Since Su Yun wasn't addicted to smoking, and Su Yun wasn't a brainless person, Bao Qianxia was certain that Su Yun would never smoke those 2 cigarettes. He could rest assured that after he convinced Su Yun to cooperate with him, Su Yun would still be a normal person and not a useless person who couldn't survive without heroin. Little Li, arrange for someone to keep an eye on Su Yun. I don't need to tell you what to do, Bao Qianxia said. Remember, you can't let him find out that I arranged for someone to keep an eye on him. It's not conducive to building a relationship of mutual trust between us. Li Chun nodded. Yes. Zhang Meng didn't understand. Big boss, you let him go so easily. Don't tell me you don't trust him? Since you don't trust him and he didn't agree to cooperate with us, why did you let him go? Even if he agreed to cooperate with me, do you think I would really trust him? Bao Qianxia looked at Zhang Meng helplessly. When I said to build a relationship of mutual trust, I didn't really mean to trust each other. I just want him to think that I trust him, and then let him really trust me. Little Meng, don't blame me for always saying that you have no brain. You really do have no brain. If you think more before you do anything in the future, I promise you will be more important than now. Really? Zhang Meng was excited. Big boss. I promise I will use more of my brain in the future. Bao Tianxia shook his head helplessly. When Zhang Meng said this, he didn't use his brain at all. If Zhang Meng used his brain a little, he would know that Bao Tianxia was just brushing him off. Bao Tianxia already thought highly of Zhang Meng, and Zhang Meng was destined to reach this height in his life. The reason was simple. It was because he still didn't understand what it meant to use his brain before he did anything. Li Chun obviously saw the big boss's helplessness. She turned around and left to do what the big boss had arranged for her. If she didn't hurry up and leave, Zhang Meng would probably ask her again what it meant to use his brain. How could a person who didn't even want to think about such a simple principle really use his brain when he did things? On the way back, Su Yun looked at the 2 packs of cigarettes in his hand with interest. They were pure white and had no print on them. He believed that they were special agents, but he didn't believe that there was no problem with the cigarettes. When Bao Tianxia's Rolls-Royce came to pick him up, he didn't smell any tobacco in the car. The ashtray in the car was brand new, and the roof of the car didn't have any traces of smoking. However, in Bao Tianxia's guest room, Su Yun could smell the faint smell of cigars. Based on this, Su Yun was completely sure that Bao Tianxia was a person who didn't touch cigarettes. Bao Tianxia would only light a cigar when he was thinking about something, and he would only smoke in an absolutely quiet environment. Many people might think that smoking cigars and smoking were the same, but that wasn't the case. Cigars and cigarettes were 2 completely different concepts. People who smoked enjoyed the temporary feeling of relaxation that came with the tobacco entering their lungs. Cigar smokers, on the other hand, enjoyed the feeling of being surrounded by cigar smoke. People who really smoked cigars didn't smoke. If a person smoked and smoked cigars, it only meant that they didn't really know how to enjoy cigars. People who really enjoyed cigars and knew that they could enjoy cigars wouldn't smoke for that temporary feeling of relaxation. It was on a completely different level. Since Bao Tianxia was a person who smoked cigars and didn't smoke, the people around him must have known about this. If they knew about this, why would they still give him cigarettes? They were obviously flattering him and asking to be kicked. If they were to give him something, they would definitely give him cigars. Even if the cigarettes were special offerings, Bao Tianxia definitely didn't like them. If someone were to give him cigarettes, he would just throw them to his smoking subordinates or throw them away. A person who didn't smoke had no reason to keep cigarettes. Therefore, Su Yun was sure that Bao Tianxia was using the cigarettes to bribe others. Even if they were special offerings, for someone who could offer Su Yun 3 billion yuan, it wasn't worth mentioning. However, when Li Chun gave the cigarettes to Su Yun noticed a trace of doubt in Bao Tianxia's eyes. Obviously, Bao Tianxia didn't order Li Chun to give the cigarettes to Su Yun. If there wasn't anything wrong with the cigarettes, why would Bao Tianxia's eyes flash with doubt? It was obvious that there was something wrong with the cigarettes. Su Yun smiled. If there was something wrong with the cigarettes that made Bao Tianxia's eyes change, it meant that Bao Tianxia wasn't ready to give him something with a problem. At the same time, it also meant that he could drink the tea without worry. Soon, the car sent Su Yun back to the construction site of the movie plaza. The driver said politely, "Mr. Su, we're here. If you don't need anything else, wait for me. I'll go in and take a look. If there's nothing else, you can send me somewhere else." Su Yun didn't treat himself as an outsider at all. Before he got out of the car, he remembered that the driver wasn't his, so he politely threw the cigarettes to the front passenger seat and said to the driver, "Brother, you've worked hard. Take these 2 cigarettes. Don't tell the boss that I gave them to you. Otherwise, he won't be happy." The driver was flattered and hurriedly said, "You're welcome, Mr. Su. You're too polite. I'm really sorry. How could I dare to accept something from the boss? Since the boss gave it to me, I naturally have the right to give it to others." Su Yun said, "I didn't want you to tell the boss because I didn't want to cause you trouble. You worked hard today, so you deserve it." In the end, the driver naturally accepted Su Yun's gift. After all, Most drivers had the habit of smoking because nicotine did have a weak refreshing effect. There was a saying that went, "If you eat someone's food, your mouth will be short." Now that the driver had taken Soo-Yun's cigarettes, he naturally had to accept it. Soo-Yun told him to wait, so he waited obediently. Anyway, the driver was the only one who sent Soo-Yun back this time. No one would criticize him, and he didn't have to worry about Zhang Meng scolding him. It was easy to find an excuse for being late. He could just say that there was a traffic jam. What could he do about it? It wasn't like he wanted to be stuck in traffic. Soo-Yun hurried to the construction site of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. He found that not only was Hua Meiyan absent, but even Tang Jiu and the Zhang brothers weren't there. There were only a few construction managers and designers checking some of the information left by Tang Jiu. Since this was the case, Soo-Yun didn't need to stay there. He wasn't an architecture major, so there was no point in staying. Fortunately, Soo-Yun was smart enough to use the 2 problematic cigarettes as a private car. This saved him money and he didn't need to take a taxi anymore. Soo-Yun made a phone call to ask about Lin Ji's current location. Then, he returned to the car and said to the driver, "Bro, I'll have to trouble you to send me to Ocean Park. I have something to do there. I just need you to take a detour." "Mr. Soo, you don't have to be so polite." The driver now had a very good impression of Soo-Yun. "Mr. Soo, to be honest, if you can really work with the boss in the company, I will definitely support you. If you need anything, you can find me at any time. As long as I can help you, I will do it wholeheartedly." Soo-Yun laughed dryly. The driver's enthusiasm made him feel that there was something wrong with the cigarettes he had given him. He felt embarrassed. "Thank you very much. Let's go to Ocean Park." Chapter 628. Lin Gur and Wang Zhe had already taken Guagua and Bu Fifan to play in Ocean Park for the whole morning. They were hungry now. Hearing that Soo-Yun was coming to find them, Guagua was naturally very happy. Although she could play whatever she wanted now, without Soo-Yun accompanying her, Guagua always felt that something was missing. Fortunately, Soo-Yun could come to have lunch with her. That was enough. After receiving the notice, they quickly went to the entrance of Ocean Park to wait for Soo-Yun. The few of them were chatting in boredom. Suddenly, a black extended Rolls-Royce drove in front of them, causing them to be stunned for a moment. Bu Fifan snorted disdainfully and muttered to himself, "What's so great about it? Isn't it just a Rolls-Royce? It has such a wide door. Why does he have to stop in front of me to show off? Who cares?" Guagua was also very supportive of Bu Fifan's words. "That's right. What's so great about it? So what if he has money? There are many people in the world who can afford a Rolls-Royce, but not many people show off like this. Humph, when the person inside comes out later, none of us will make way for him. Let's see if he can still show off then." Lin Gur and Wang Zhe had to hand it to these 2 little ancestors. These 2 people were really the type that wasn't afraid of making a big deal out of it. This was really tough for them, because no matter how big of a trouble they caused or how big of a mess they made, they still had to clean up after them. The window of the Rolls-Royce was rolled down. They were instantly dumbfounded because Soo-Yun's gentle smile was actually in the car. "Dad!" Guagua's eyes almost popped out. This was too exaggerated. The person in the car was actually Soo-Yun. "Where did you rent this car? Although your daughter's status is noble, you don't have to be so extravagant, right?" While they were talking, Guagua opened the car door and ran into the car. "Wow, this is so cool. Where are you going to take them?" Soo-Yun looked at the driver embarrassedly. What else could the driver say? He could only nod, which meant that he was telling Soo-Yun that if they wanted to go anywhere, he would definitely send them. However, he had no choice but to send them off because Bu Fifan, Lin Gur, and Wang Zhe had all gotten into the car. Bu Fifan, in particular, was full of admiration for Soo-Yun. "Old Soo, you're so awesome. You're treated so well no matter where you go. Whose car is this? They even arranged for a chauffeur to pick you up. This is too much." What else could Soo-Yun say? "What do you want to eat? I'll treat you." Won't it be great to take such a luxurious car to eat grilled seafood at the food street? Guagua said seriously, Uncle Pigeon, although the owner of the barbecue stall cheated us last night, I have to admit that the grilled seafood there is delicious. I wonder if they're open now. The food street in Qingdao opens at noon and stays open until dawn. Bu Fifan already knew about it from his brother, Wang Yu. I wonder if the owner of the stall can still work today after being beaten up last night. Lin Gu shrugged. It's just a few teeth. It's not like he's missing an arm or a leg. He definitely has to open a stall to earn medical fees. Let's go. Su Yun was confused. He could only ask Wang Zhe, did you guys cause trouble last night? Well, Brother Yun, it's a long story. Wang Zhe smiled bitterly. Sir, why don't we drive? There's a food street along the coast about 3 kilometers to the east. Bu Fifan had already started giving directions to the driver. Seeing that Su Yun had no objection, the driver immediately drove to the food street. He really didn't understand why these people would go to the food street to eat all kinds of food. Even a driver like him wouldn't go to such places if he wanted to eat seafood. He always felt that it was unhygienic. Guagua, tell me, did you do something bad last night? Su Yun really wanted to know what happened last night. Guagua said disapprovingly, tell me about yourself first. Where did you go with Auntie Zwa last night? Why couldn't we find you after we returned to the hotel? Humph, if you did something bad, then tell us honestly. Mom told me to keep an eye on you when we get to Qingdao. Su Yun didn't know how to answer Guagua's words. What he did last night was indeed not suitable for children, so he naturally couldn't tell Guagua, what do children know about adult matters? You just have to be obedient and take care of yourself. Don't cause trouble for your pigeon uncle. We didn't cause any trouble. We were provoked by others. Fortunately, we have the ability to punish evil and promote good. Guagua said proudly. It was obvious that she was very satisfied with the result of last night's incident. The 3-kilometer journey was very short. The Rolls-Royce soon arrived at the barbecue stall where they had eaten last night. The stall owner had many stitches in his mouth, and all his teeth had fallen out. He was greeting customers with a squeak. Seeing such a flashy luxury car coming to his stall, the stall owner's eyes lit up. Such rich people came to eat at his stall. This was definitely a living advertisement for his business. However, the moment the car door opened and the little girl got out, the stall owner almost collapsed to the ground. Then, the adults came out of the car, which made the stall owner tremble. Why are they here again? Are they really not going to let me go? How dedicated. Even with his teeth in this state, he still doesn't forget to make money. Bu Fifan shook his head and said, we're here to eat, not to cause trouble. Serve us whatever is good. It's best if you can get us something fresh. Yes. The stall owner didn't dare to say another word. He hurriedly invited them to the seats inside. After getting out of the car, Su Yun said to the driver, anyway, it's time to eat. Come down and eat with us. There's nothing much to do now. Your boss must be eating. You'll have to wait for him when you go back. You can leave after eating. There's nothing urgent. Don't worry. If the big boss calls, I'll take care of it for you. The driver couldn't refuse. He could only eat the barbecued seafood here with Su Yun and the others. The taste was really good. If they ate in a 5-star hotel, it wouldn't be as fresh as the seafood here. At the very least, the food in the oven here was fresh and tasted delicious. After the meal, the stall owner didn't dare to ask for money no matter what. After politely sending off the big shots, he wanted to slap himself twice. He really didn't have eyes to provoke the children of such rich and powerful families. He deserved to be beaten so badly yesterday. Alas, he was also puzzled. Why would such rich people come to eat barbecue here? He was really speechless. God, please open your eyes. Don't let these rich people come again. I really don't know how to serve them. Since Su Yun came, Guagua didn't let him stay idle. She asked him to take them to the east, then to the west. The driver was troubled for the whole afternoon. When it was dinner time, Guagua invited the driver to have dinner together. But the driver's face really couldn't hang a smile. He had been out for the whole afternoon. When he went back, he really didn't know how to explain to the big boss. Alas, it was too troublesome. If he had known, he wouldn't have asked for the 2 cigarettes. Su Yun saw that he was in a dilemma, so he asked him to send them back to Ocean Park and then let him leave. Wang Zhe drove his own car and rushed back to the hotel with everyone. Lin Gu asked curiously, "Bro, whose car is that? They even arranged a chauffeur to take you around. You're so influential that I can't believe it." "It's the big boss's," Su Yun said lightly. Lin Gu and Wang Zhe's expressions stiffened. Big Boss, they had heard this name in the snow forest of Xing and Mountain. It was the name that the leaders of the Viper expedition called Hiss. Lin Gu and Wang Zhe couldn't help but gasp. They focused their eyes on Su Yun's face, hoping to hear him say it more clearly. "Yes, it's the person you're thinking of now. Su Yun, I met him today. I didn't expect him to find me in Qingdao so soon. Haha, I didn't expect an acquaintance to be his lawyer." Lin Gu said nervously, "Brother, what does he want? Are you okay?" "Don't worry, he didn't do anything to me. Instead, he was very polite to me. Su Yun, although I know this politeness is not a good thing. A hungry wolf is easy to deal with, a smiling tiger is much more dangerous. But I know in my heart that he hasn't reached the point where he can't tolerate my existence." Wang Zhe frowned and said, "Brother Yun, he's polite to you probably because he knows that only you can help him enter the homeland of the Packer clan." "That's right." Su Yun nodded and admitted, "If not for this reason, he would have arranged for someone to deal with me long ago. It can be said that I'm a thorn in his heart. If he doesn't remove me, he will never feel comfortable. But unfortunately, this thorn in his heart is someone he has to ask for help from. So don't worry, I'm still very safe for the time being." Guagua and Bu Fifan were very obedient and didn't say anything. They knew that this was not the time to joke. They could only act obediently so that Su Yun wouldn't have to take care of them and could use all his energy to deal with the bad guys. Bao Tianxia's driver finally returned to the private club after 6 hours. When Zhang Meng saw him, he cursed, "If King thought you died outside. You just went to send someone off. Even if there was a traffic jam, it couldn't have lasted for 6 hours. Come, follow me to see the big boss." The driver was trembling in fear as Zhang Meng dragged him to Bao Tianxia. "Big boss, it's not that I didn't want to come back earlier, but Mr. Su asked me to take him and his friends to the Ocean Park, to the Food Street, and to the West Coast to watch the tide. I really didn't know how to get away," the driver hurriedly explained. Bao Tianxia smiled and said, very good, You did well. Mr. Su is my honored guest. If he has any requests, of course you have to do your best to satisfy him." "Big boss." Zhang Meng was stunned. The big boss was still angry just now. Why did he suddenly change his attitude? Bao Tianxia raised his hand and motioned for Zhang Meng to stop talking. He continued to talk to the driver. "You must have received some benefits from Mr. Su to satisfy his requests, right? He, as the saying goes, if you receive benefits from others, you will be in trouble. Am I right?" The driver opened his mouth wide and looked at the big boss in surprise. In his eyes, the big boss was a legend who could predict things like a god. He didn't see it, so how could he know that he had received benefits from others? "Go, bring me those 2 cigarettes. Bao Tianxia said lightly, "It's not your fault. It's not that I don't want to give you cigarettes, but there's something in them. I don't want my driver to become a delirious drug addict." Chapter 629. When the driver absent-mindedly brought the cigarettes in front of Bao Tianxia, Zhang Meng stepped forward and kicked the driver to the ground. Then he scolded fiercely, "You traitor! How did the big boss treat you? How dare you accept other people's benefits and be their driver for a whole day? Don't you know who pays your salary?" "I was wrong, I know I was wrong. I didn't think too much about it. I thought that since Big Boss wanted me to give it to him, I should listen to his orders. Big Boss, I beg you, forgive me. I really didn't mean to take the things he gave me. I really didn't mean to. The driver sat on the ground, his face pale. Recently, Big Boss was in a bad mood. He didn't know what kind of punishment he would receive. Zhong Meng was still unforgiving. Wrong? You should bear the consequences of doing something wrong. What do you think you should do? Do you want me to give you a ride, or do you want to feed the fish in the lake? I beg you, Big Boss, don't. I've never been disloyal to you since I followed you. I really don't have any intention of betraying you. The driver's face became even more miserable after hearing the serious consequences. He also knew what terrible things were in the lake. I beg you, give me a chance. Li Chun's attitude was completely different from Zhong Meng's. She whispered to Bao Tianxia, Big Boss, actually, he made an unexpected contribution in this matter. He made up for my mistake and brought the cigarettes back. Please give him a chance. Bao Tianxia nodded and said softly, I never said I would punish him. It's just that he felt sorry for me. Well, you can leave now. This has nothing to do with you. The driver hurriedly bowed and thanked him. Then he quickly ran out of the room and ran away. Zhong Meng looked at Bao Tianxia and Li Chun with an incomprehensible expression. Big Boss, why? He almost became someone's henchman. Why did you let him go? Little Meng, don't look at the problem like that. Some things are not as simple as you think. The Big Boss said indifferently, although I had him send Su Yun off for a whole 6 hours this time, he gave me an inspiration because of this matter. Su Yun really knows how to win people's hearts. If he really cooperates with me, I have to guard against this. It would only take him 1 day to get my driver to treat him like he treated me. What if it was a week? Ha ha ha, perhaps even you, Zhong Meng, will treat him the same way you treat me. Impossible. Zhong Meng snorted. Right now, he only wanted to kill Su Yun. Only then would he be able to dispel the resentment in his heart. Li Chun said indifferently, Don't be so absolute. Big Boss's worries can't be wrong. Zhong Meng, your weakness is that you are too straightforward. Everything is written on your face. If a smart person wants to make use of you, it will be too easy. Zhong Meng's eyes widened. He suddenly felt that the world was so sinister that even he could be used by others. Very simple. How could this be? Li Chun, don't think that just because Big Boss thinks that you are smarter than me, you can say that about me. Zhong Meng snorted softly. Humph, no one dares to make use of me these days. Bao Tianxia was very disdainful of Zhong Meng's conceit. He said coldly, Today, Su Yun has already made use of your temper and straightforwardness to pave a way for him to leave safely. Zhong Meng was confused. Big Boss, what do you mean? If you don't understand, then slowly think about it. Exercise your brain. Bao Tianxia frowned and waved his hand. Both of you go out. I want to be alone for a while. Zhong Meng and Li Chun had just walked out of Big Boss's room when Zhong Meng grabbed Li Chun. What did Big Boss mean just now? Did Su Yun make use of me? Help me analyze it. Why do I feel that everything is wrong with me? Li Chun impatiently glared at Zhong Meng. Big Boss asked you to think about it yourself. Don't you understand him? Think about it yourself. Don't come to me for everything. You don't really want to become a brainless fool, do you? Zhong Meng's muscles tightened. The muscles on his face twitched. Li Chun, do you think that because Big Boss thinks highly of you, you can talk to me like this? Li Chun felt the murderous aura on Zhong Meng. Such a brainless guy did not care about the consequences of his actions. If she really angered him, he might really dare to attack her. At that time, she would not have the chance to regret. Brother Meng, Su Yun is making use of your temper to divert Big Boss's attention from him. Because Big Boss knows you too well, he knows that you have a bad temper and your words are direct. So, Su Yun keeps provoking you and making you angry. Then, Big Boss will think that it is because your attitude disturbed Su Yun, so Big Boss will give Su Yun a chance to leave. Do you understand? Zhang Meng's brain could not even keep up with Li Chun's speed. After thinking for a while, he suddenly understood. Big Boss also just figured it out. Su Yun made use of your personality to fool all of us. Li Chun said, but the more he does, the more Big Boss appreciates him and wants to use him for himself. Zhang Meng patted his head hard. Insidious. Su Yun is really insidious. Well, Brother Meng, even Big Boss almost can't outsmart him, let alone us. Li Chun smiled and said with her charming eyes, Brother Meng, Big Boss needs to rest now. We can finally relax. How about I invite you to have a drink? Seeing Li Chun's coquettish appearance, Zhang Meng was stunned for a moment, but his eyes were quickly buried in front of the natural cleavage on Li Chun's chest. He nodded and said, Good, good, good. I'll treat. After the two went downstairs, Li Chun went to find the driver who sent Su Yun away and whispered a few words. Then, she walked to Zhang Meng and sat in Zhang Meng's car. Zhang Meng was not happy all day today. Now, he needed a woman to vent. He did not expect Li Chun, who had never looked at him directly, to take the initiative to throw out an ambiguous signal today. Humph, Zhang Meng thought, presumably, this little coquettish woman is not a good person. She pretended to be virtuous before, but in fact, she is a bitch who deserves to be beaten. The car drove all the way to the bustling bar street in the city. It seemed that every city now had a nightlife representative area. Even the nightclubs in small counties began to cluster together, let alone these first-tier and second-tier big cities in the country. Along the way, Li Chun kept teasing Zhang Meng with frivolous words, which made Zhang Meng a little distracted while driving. Several times, the car almost crashed into the fence in the middle of the road. If there was anyone to blame, it was Li Chun, this coquettish woman. Not only did she tease him verbally, but she also used her fingers to pat, press, and touch Zhang Meng's thigh from time to time. This caused Zhang Meng's underlings to set up a tent regardless of the occasion. Finally, the car arrived at the destination, but Zhang Meng refused to get out of the car. He couldn't get out of the car with a tent in his pants. It would be a joke if he was seen. After taking a few deep breaths, Zhang Meng finally calmed his mood. But as soon as he got out of the car, Li Chun leaned over and whispered in his ear, Brother Meng, I didn't expect you to be so fierce. You haven't done anything yet, but you are already a pillar supporting the sky. If something really happens, will you also have a golden gun that won't fall down? Even if I have to fight you for 800 rounds, I will definitely not fall down. As Zhang Meng spoke, he felt a surge of heat in his heart. He quickly pulled Li Chun into the nightclub because only in the dark environment and the complicated lighting in the nightclub, he didn't have to worry about being seen by others. Li Chun sneered in her heart. Zhang Meng was really something. Not only was he brainless, but even his little brother was also brainless. He was also a hothead. He didn't even consider what kind of woman Li Chun was and wanted to have a relationship with her. Zhang Meng's weakness was not only that he was brainless, but also that he was a pervert who was lustful when he met a woman. In the ancient language, there was a knife above the word, pervert. This sentence was actually very serious, but how many people didn't understand the meaning of this sentence now? There were too many. Most people who came to the nightclub were empty and lonely. They could only find their sense of existence in this kind of place. The special stimulation brought by strange men and women would make them find comfort in the depths of their souls. However, there were also a small number of people who came to the nightclub for special purposes, such as some transactions that couldn't be seen in the light of day. Those who sold powder were also nightclub regulars. Of course, there were also a few people who came to this kind of place to plot. Obviously, Li Chun was the last type. The two had just sat down and ordered drinks when Zhang Meng's big hand couldn't wait to touch Li Chun's thigh. Li Chun only smiled and accepted all the invasions of Zhang Meng's hands on her body. She generously poured wine for him and let him drink. After 2 bottles of wine, Zhang Meng, who was slightly drunk, began to feel unsatisfied with just having his hands on Li Chun. He wanted more. However, just as he was about to take a step further, Li Chun pushed his body away. Just as Zhang Meng didn't understand the reason, Li Chun said faintly, Brother Meng, in fact, our good days are not long. I don't know if you have considered this problem. What do you mean? Zhang Meng was stunned for a moment. Why do you say that, Li Chun? There aren't many people in this world who live more comfortably than us. The money that the big boss gives us every year is enough for many people to earn for several lifetimes. Why do you say that? If the big boss doesn't need us, do you think we can leave safely with the money? You are too naive, Brother Meng. Think about the end of Captain Liu Bei. Li Chun said. Zhang Meng seemed to be half sober. Because Liu Bei wanted to rebel. He asked for it. Who asked him to meet Su Yun in Xing and Mountain? He met Su Yun in Xing and Mountain. Didn't we meet Su Yun in the same place? It's just that the location has changed. Li Chun continued, it's just one meeting, but the big boss appreciates Su Yun. Have you ever thought that if Su Yun really cooperates with the big boss, will there still be a place for us in the company? Su Yun has everything that the two of us have. With Su Yun, do you think the big boss still needs us? Zhang Meng was a little excited. But Su Yun doesn't agree. The big boss hasn't cooperated with him yet. If the big boss is annoyed one day, he will naturally ask me to kill him. At that time, we will still be like this. Nothing will happen. Is there anything that the big boss wants that he can't get? Li Chun raised his voice, but in the chaotic and noisy nightclub, it didn't affect anyone at all. The only person who was stunned was Zhang Meng himself. Yes, the big boss would do anything to get what he wanted. Sooner or later, he would get it. Sooner or later, the big boss would get Su Yun and let Su Yun help him get the world treasures under the ice and snow forest of Xing and Mountain. Chapter 630. Zhang Meng was almost sober now. Indeed, Li Chun was right. If the big boss had Su Yun, a guy with both integrity, intelligence, and martial arts, as his right-hand man, what else did he need them to do? Was there any reason and meaning for their existence? Li Chun's words were like pouring wisdom into his head. It directly woke Zhang Meng up completely, but Zhang Meng had no good ideas. He pinned all his hopes on Li Chun. What should we do? How can we prevent the big boss from getting Su Yun? I worked so hard to get everything in the company. I will never allow anyone to take it away. Yes, Brother Meng. Everything we got today was not easy. We must not give anyone a chance to take away our position. Li Chun said, do you know why I took the risk of being thrown into the lake by the big boss to give the cigarette mixed with white powder to Su Yun? I did it for us. I wanted to destroy Su Yun so that he would not have the capital to compete with us. But Su Yun was smarter than I thought. He directly threw the cigarette to the driver. Zhang Meng looked at Li Chun in confusion. What should we do now? Did you put poison in the tea leaves? Tea is usually not drunk by one person. I don't want to make things worse. Li Chun shook her head helplessly. She regretted not poisoning the tea. In the final analysis, there was not enough time. If she took too long to get the tea, the big boss would be suspicious. If the big boss knew that she poisoned the person who the big boss wanted to win over, then she, Li Chun, would not be far from being fed to the fish. We can't be in a deadlock like this. I have to solve this threat and trouble. Zhang Meng's expression was gloomy. We have to get rid of Su Yun. Only by getting rid of him can the big boss completely give up. Only in this way can we rest easy. Li Chun was really surprised by Zhang Meng's words. She really didn't expect Zhang Meng to suddenly analyze the problem. Brother Meng, you're right. We have to get rid of Su Yun before the big boss and Su Yun reach an agreement. Only by getting rid of Su Yun can we be useful to the big boss. Only then will he continue to treat us well and not kick us away like we're dead dogs. Zhang Meng's eyes flashed with killing intent. Li Chun's words had deeply stimulated his brain. He knew very well what he wanted to do now, and what he should do. He had to solve this problem. I just asked the driver about the hotel they might be at. Li Chun said indifferently, as long as we find him and get rid of him, we can solve all our worries. Zhang Meng nodded. All right, then tell me where the hotel is. I'll deal with him right now. Brother Meng, you're being impulsive again. We still can't be sure if Su Yun has other people around him. If we go after him with great fanfare, we might end up with a loss. Li Chun said, if you want us to succeed at once, then I have a plan. I'll tell you now. Yes, yes, yes. I'm all ears. Zhong Meng admired Li Chun very much. At the very least, the things she arranged rarely failed. Zhong Meng really didn't care about Su Yun at all to have a strategist to give him advice. After a busy day, everyone had dinner together at the hotel. The only one they didn't see was Zhua Meiyan. Zhua Yeming and Wang Zhe had worn out iron shoes looking for her but to no avail. In the end, they had to give up. At least Zhua Meiyan's phone was connected, and she was safe. She just said that she wanted to be alone for a while, so she didn't tell them where she was. Brother-in-law, did you reject my sister when you two went out for a romantic night last night? Zhua Yeming said unhappily, brother-in-law, you should be content. So many people drooled over my sister, but she didn't even look at them. You, on the other hand, didn't even open your mouth when my sister came to you. Su Yun glared at him. Don't talk nonsense. What do you know? Don't talk nonsense. Stay where you are. Lin Gu used to support Su Yun in everything, but this time, he felt that Zhua Yeming's analysis was right. Brother, women are actually very fragile. Even if you want to reject them, you have to be more tactful and tactful. You can't be so direct with everything. With your temper, to be honest, most people can't stand it. You understand? Su Yun was completely speechless. Are you full? If not, you can eat slowly. I'm going back to rest. Zhua Meiyan is an adult. Nothing will happen to her. Don't worry. After returning to his room, Su Yun was finally able to calm down. He knew very well why Zhua Meiyan had left. She needed a quiet environment to break through the bottleneck of her state of mind. If Su Yun was by her side, Zhua Meiyan wouldn't be able to calm herself down. Therefore, Su Yun was very relieved. He didn't allow anyone to call and disturb her. After arriving at Qingdao, Su Yun experienced a rare feeling of relaxation. However, the invitation from the big boss made Su Yun fall into chaos. He didn't want his life to be disrupted, nor did he want the lives of the Packer people to be disrupted. Therefore, he absolutely couldn't accept Bao Tianxia's invitation. However, Su Yun was also wary of Bao Tianxia. Bao Tianxia was capable of many things. He could secretly arrange for assassins to kill him and Wang Xinyu, and he could also personally come out to greet him, the person who had ruined his plans. Bao Tianxia was a flexible person. Su Yun knew how scary such a person could be. You never knew what he would do next. With his mind in a mess, Su Yun found it difficult to fall asleep. Unknowingly, it was already late at night. Just as Su Yun was about to force himself to sleep, the phone in the room rang. Su Yun was stunned for a moment. Then, he picked it up. Hello. Hello, sir. We are from the hotel's room service department. May I ask if you need any services? We have massages, pedicures, and... Are there any acrobatic performances? Is there a magic show? Su Yun didn't wait for the other party to finish. If not, don't call again. I'm in a bad mood. Don't make me angry. After hanging up the phone, Su Yun began to think of Shinkai Hotel. She reckoned that in the past, Shinkai Hotel must have had this kind of special service. To put it bluntly, it was a business for old ladies to introduce outside girls. Su Yun was too lazy to think about this. Sleeping was the most important thing right now. Knock, knock, knock. The knocking on the door interrupted Su Yun's sleepiness. Even a good-tempered person would get impatient sometimes. Who is it? Are you crazy in the middle of the night? Chairman Su, it's me. A woman's voice sounded. Su Yun said impatiently, I already said that I don't need your special service. I don't have money. Scram. Chairman Su, I think you have misunderstood. The woman's voice sounded from outside the door. It's me. Who? Su Yun frowned. He tried to recall the voice in his mind. Soon he realized. How did Bao Tianxia's people find this place? Su Yun immediately realized that they had misspoken in the Rolls-Royce. They had said the name of the hotel. Damn it! Bao Tianxia had found this place. It seemed that Bao Tianxia was Su Yun's #1 problem now. Fortunately, the room that Su Yun was in was the one that Zhuo Meiyan had booked last night. He was not on the same floor as the others. This more or less comforted Su Yun. He did not want Bao Tianxia's trouble to affect Guagua, Bu Fifan, and the others. Su Yun put on his clothes and opened the door. He had guessed correctly. Bao Tianxia's female assistant, Li Chun, was standing outside the door. Hello, Chairman Su. Li Chun smiled. Can I come in? It's so late. It's not good for a man and a woman to be alone. Miss Li, if you have something to say, please say it. Su Yun smiled faintly. I don't think the big boss sent you here at this time. When Su Yun saw this woman for the first time, he was sure that she was not simple. A woman who was so weak that she could not even truss a chicken could have such a high status by Bao Tianxia's side. Clearly, this woman had outstanding abilities in some aspects. Either she was good in bed and could make Bao Tianxia lose himself in her, or she had outstanding intelligence and was an indispensable talent by Bao Tianxia's side. Or, this woman had both. If that was the case, then it was really scary. Chairman Su, you are indeed a smart person. The big boss did not send me here. I wanted to come here. Li Chun nodded and admitted. Can I come in and talk now? The corridor is still a bit cold. I'm not wearing much. Chairman Su is a person who has tender feelings for women. You won't reject me, right? As she spoke, Li Chun had already started to walk into the room. Su Yun believed that as long as he treated this matter calmly, he would not fall into her trap. At worst, she would not believe him no matter what he said. There was no harm in letting her in. After all, he was a man. If he was afraid of a woman entering his room, he would be a laughingstock. After the two returned to the room, Su Yun did not do any of the polite things that a host should do. He said concisely, Miss Li, why did you visit so late at night? If you have something to say, just say it. Li Chun's face showed a touch of sadness. Chairman Su, then you must promise me that if I say anything, you must not tell the big boss. Otherwise, he will definitely punish me. The big boss's punishment is often a dead end. When a weak woman was so delicate and pitiful in front of you, any man would have tender feelings for her. Su Yun was also a man. Of course, he would have some faint sympathy. However, this pity only lasted for a moment. Su Yun once again reminded himself that this woman was very dangerous. He could not believe anything she said. Once he believed it, the one who would be in trouble would be himself. Since Miss Li knows that it is so dangerous to offend the big boss, why do you take the risk? Su Yun smiled slightly. I am not related to you. We just met once. Why would you believe me? This doesn't seem to make sense. Miss Li, I know that you are a smart person. A smart person would not do such a stupid thing. Li Chun did not change any mood because of Su Yun's words. She was still depressed and said, Chairman Su, haven't you heard that a woman who falls in love has 0 IQ? No matter how smart I am in your heart, I am still a woman. Fall in love? Su Yun was stunned. Miss Li, you came to me in the middle of the night. Don't tell me that you fell in love with me? Then you should find the guy you fell in love with. It has nothing to do with me. I am here to find the guy I fell in love with. Li Chun met Su Yun's gaze and said firmly. Chapter 631. Su Yun shook his head, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Miss Li, you'd better not make such a silly joke. I've only met you once, and we're on opposite sides. What reason do you have to love me? Ha ha ha, your joke is a bit too much. If you have something to say, just say it. Do I need a reason to love someone? Li Chun's eyes flashed with tears. Mr. Su, It seems that you are also a person who has never loved anyone. You don't need a reason to love someone. A person who has never loved will not understand the joys, sorrows, and spicy feelings of love. Soo-yoon certainly understood that love didn't need a reason. He also knew that love didn't need a reason at all. Of course, he had experienced this feeling. But he still felt that Lee Chun's so-called love was too sudden and too ridiculous. Miss Lee, if a person suddenly appeared on the side of the road and told you that he was in love with you, would you accept it? Soo-yoon shrugged her shoulders and said, I think, if you are a normal woman, you will definitely reward him with a big slap on the mouth. How ridiculous it is for someone who doesn't even have the basic social skills to say that he loves you. But we're not people who don't have social skills. Lee Chun said. Whether it's your behavior or your words, they deeply attract me. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't have risked coming here in the middle of the night to find you. Mr. Soo, can't you try to understand me? Think about why I'm doing this. Soo-yoon laughed dryly. That's true. If it weren't for your love for me, why would you come here in the middle of the night to find me? Ha ha, but when I said it myself, I thought it was a joke. Mr. Soo, you really don't understand women. You really don't understand a woman's heart. A woman can do anything for the man she loves. No matter how dangerous it is, she won't hesitate. Lee Chun's eyes were firm and her voice was resolute. Soo-yoon gave her a thumbs up. Miss Lee, I don't think you should be in this line of work. If you enter the film academy and become an actress, Sky Entertainment Group will definitely sign you. We will definitely make you an internationally famous actress. It's much better than you doing these things that are neither human nor ghost. At least it's not a crime. At least it's something that's presentable. Lee Chun suddenly wanted to cry. Mr. Soo, how can you say that about me? I'm really sincere to you. I also don't want to do those illegal things with the big boss, but I have no choice. I came to you now because I hope you can save me and help me. I know you're an upright person and won't wallow in the mire with the big boss, so please take me away, okay? You and the big boss are jackals of the same tribe. Where can I take you? Soo-yoon smiled. Just about there. Your acting is really good. Lee Chun looked at Soo-yoon innocently. What do you want me to do to make you believe me? I can give you everything I have, including myself. After saying that, Lee Chun suddenly unbuttoned his shirt and took off all his clothes with a whoosh. His entire body was exposed in front of Soo-yoon without any concealment. Speaking of this woman's figure, only by taking it off could he be sure whether it was adulterated or not. Lee Chun was definitely the real deal. She looked the same when she wore the clothes and took them off. The places that should be protruding were protruding, the places that should be protruding were protruding, and the places that should be thin were thin. She was definitely a stunner in the world. However, it was a pity that Soo-yoon had no interest in such a beautiful woman. It wasn't that Soo-yoon wasn't manly enough, but Soo-yoon was very clear that a woman with such superb acting skills was definitely more poisonous than a poisonous snake. If there was a little carelessness and negligence, he might be bitten by her. The bite was bound to be a fatal injury. Miss Lee, can you stop pretending? Hee, before I leave, you gave me 2 problematic cigarettes? Tell me, is it poison or white powder inside? Soo-yoon directly tore off Lee Chun's mask. You have already done such a thing. How can I believe you? Even if you take off all your clothes, you won't be able to wash away your thoughts of crippling me. Lee Chun shook her head vigorously and denied. These things were given to you by the big boss. I don't know anything. You don't know anything? Then why did the big boss's eyes flash with doubt when you gave me the cigarettes? Hee. Miss Lee, since I've already said so much, you should also give up on your performance. Soo-yoon, I admit that your performance was very wonderful. But sorry, I, Soo-yoon, am not the kind of person who can't see. Lee Chun's expression finally returned to normal. She picked up the clothes on the ground and put them on. She said lightly, no wonder the big boss said that he wanted to see if you were Sun Wukong. Chairman Soo really has sharp eyes. Cut the crap. What exactly do you want by coming here to find me? Su Yun said coldly. Chairman Su, I just don't want a rare talent like you to steal my job. Li Chun said bluntly. Su Yun Shuang chuckled. Miss Li, you're thinking too much. I really won't steal your job. I won't do something immoral like digging up someone's ancestral grave. You can rest assured. But, since you are here today, I'm afraid it's not as simple as just saying a few words to me. The guest who came with you can also come out. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Meng broke through the window and sneered. Su Yun, you really made me look at you in a new light. The big boss can appreciate you so much because you can use your brain better than me. Humph, but you used so many brains. I'm afraid you didn't think that I would go against the big boss's wishes and directly kill you. I really didn't think that a brainless guy like you would think of this. Su Yun smiled. But I really know that Miss Li is not so easy to deal with. I admit, although I knew that Miss Li would find trouble with me, I didn't expect it to be so soon. Miss Li, if I'm not wrong, today's decision was also made suddenly. Li Chun sneered. Is there any point in saying this now? Su Yun wagged his finger. Of course it's meaningful. Your original plan was to finish me off after I've become a drug-addicted cripple after smoking these 2 cartons of cigarettes. At that time, you wouldn't need to spend too much effort, and you wouldn't need to use your body in exchange for Zhang Meng's help. Am I right? Li Chun's face became more and more ugly. She didn't answer Su Yun's words, but said to Zhang Meng, You must kill him today. Otherwise, both of us will suffer. Don't worry. Zhang Meng said fiercely. He had wanted to kill Su Yun for a long time. Su Yun's expression was still calm. Miss Li, Zhang Meng is just a chess piece for you, a knife to kill people. You have already made an alibi for yourself, but you let Zhang Meng leave traces of fighting with me at the scene. When the big boss investigates, you won't have any trouble because Zhang Meng will be your scapegoat. Zhang Meng, who was about to attack, was stunned when he heard Su Yun's words. He broke out in a cold sweat. From the beginning to the end, because of the alcohol, Zhang Meng didn't think of any consequences. If the big boss knew that he killed the person he wanted, wouldn't he be miserable? Li Chun, whose plot was exposed, was full of murderous intent. Zhang Meng, don't listen to his provocation. This person has too many ideas. Don't believe what he says. Li Chun, Su has a lot of ideas. But why do I feel that your ideas aren't small either? Zhang Meng said coldly, You didn't F*King look at me before, but today you took the initiative to let me touch you and play with you. So you have a F*King plan. You want me to be your scapegoat. Good, good. What a deep plot. You are much smarter than I thought. Do you really think I have no brains? Li Chun was a little flustered. Brother Meng, I'm definitely not like what he said. We are grasshoppers on the same rope. You should be very clear about this. I definitely didn't use you. You didn't use me? Then why did you King take a picture with the boss in front of the bar? Why didn't you ask me to take a picture with you? Zhang Meng said, You can use a picture to prove that you weren't with me. Isn't it? F*CK. You be *TCH. Su Yun whistled and clapped his hands. Congratulations, you can use your brain to think. Li Chun was still explaining, No, I really didn't. I really didn't mean that. Don't be fooled by Su Yun. Then you King stand in front of Su Yun and let me take a picture with you. Zhang Meng scolded. I'll see if you still dare to trick me like this. You want to trick me? You are too inexperienced. Today, I will kill all of you. I also know how to make up a story. I will say that you two have an affair. King colluded with Su Yun to rebel against the big boss, so I killed you in anger. Humph, who doesn't know how to lie? Lying is using your brain. Today, I finally know what it means to use your brain. If you say so, the big boss will never believe it. Li Chun said, Brother Meng, I beg you not to do stupid things. We will follow the plan. I promise that we will be fine. Su Yun also agreed, using your brain is not lying. Your lie is full of loopholes. This is the first time I met your big boss. How can I have an affair with Miss Lee? Sigh, unless the big boss is a fool like you who doesn't use his brain, otherwise, he will never believe your words. You are the King fool. Zhang Meng was angry. He suddenly kicked at Su Yun. Fortunately, Su Yun's reaction was fast enough. He dodged sideways and blocked Zhang Meng's kick with his fists. Then, he counterattacked with a whip kick. Zhang Meng quickly blocked Su Yun's kick with his fists. Suddenly, he jumped high with his feet. He used his strength to split Mount Hua. His heel smashed at the top of Su Yun's head. Su Yun quickly raised his arms to block Zhang Meng's downward slash. At the same time, he kicked Zhang Meng's lower abdomen without any fancy moves. Zhang Meng could not dodge in time and could only take the hit. He held his lower abdomen and quickly retreated a few steps. Seeing that the two of them were fighting, Li Chun wanted to take the opportunity to slip away. However, Zhang Meng, who had retreated behind her, grabbed her hair and pulled her in front of him. Want to leave? It's not that easy. Today, you and I are in the same boat. Don't even think about escaping. After that, Zhang Meng slapped Li Chun's back angrily and pushed Li Chun toward Su Yun. Su Yun reflexively pushed Li Chun away and threw her on the bed. Zhang Meng's fist hit Su Yun's shoulder at the same time. Su Yun could only retreat quickly and try his best to reduce the damage to his body. Chapter 632. Many people say that after God takes away what you should have in one aspect, he will compensate you more in another aspect. Su Yun finally understood this principle. God had taken away Zhang Meng's brain and speed of thought, but he had given him an extremely strong body. While he was attacking Su Yun fiercely, there was no defense to speak of at all. So even when Su Yun was defending with all his might, he was still able to find the opponent's weak points in a few moments to launch a heavy punch. As a super expert, Su Yun was very clear about the strength of his punches. At the very least, he wouldn't let Zhang Meng hit his body easily. He would try his best to defend against every punch. If he didn't defend with all his strength, any of his opponent's punches could hurt him. However, Zhang Meng didn't think about defense. After taking 3 punches from Su Yun, he was still able to maintain his initial fighting strength. He continued to force Su Yun to stay in the corner. The 3 punches that Su Yun gave Zhang Meng at the right time were definitely not feints. He had used all his strength, but even so, Zhang Meng was able to withstand them. It was no wonder that Bao Tianxia kept Zhang Meng by his side as a bodyguard. Although this guy didn't have much of a brain, he was born with an impenetrable body. Opportunities were always given to those who were prepared. Although Su Yun was at a disadvantage, he didn't panic. He was very clear about when his real opportunity would come. Finally, Li Chun, who had been thrown to the ground, stood up. At this moment, her thoughts were simpler than anyone else's. She had to escape. Only by escaping would she have a chance to live. Otherwise, a simple-minded guy like Zhang Meng would dare to kill her with just a few words from Su Yun. Zhang Meng, who was seething with anger, would never let Li Chun leave. He didn't know what this damned woman would say in front of his boss. He definitely couldn't let her succeed. The moment Li Chun got up and was about to run, he made the first decision that flashed through his mind. He turned around and pounced on Li Chun. Li Chun, who was about to escape, fell heavily to the ground. Li Chun was not an expert who practiced ancient martial arts. How could he withstand the torment of a rough person like Zhang Meng? After being thrown to the ground, he spat out a mouthful of blood due to the huge impact on his chest. His vision began to blur. Su Yun's chance came. Just as Zhang Meng pulled away from him, Su Yun also exerted force with his heel and rose from the ground. Zhang Meng had knocked Li Chun over, but his back had taken a full-force kick from Su Yun. Before he could say anything to Li Chun, he quickly rolled twice and retreated to the wall. The pain from his back made his killing intent even stronger. Su Yun really admired this guy for not being able to hurt his opponent's spine with such a heavy kick. Could it be that this guy had practiced the Golden Bell Shield and Iron Skin technique with the Shaolin Temple? The chaotic situation quickly turned into a tripartite confrontation. Li Chun's face was pale, and there was a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth. She said, "If you let me go, we'll pretend that nothing happened today. Believe me, I have the ability to settle all of this." "Settle my ass," Zhong Meng scolded angrily. "Today, even if I let Su Yun go, I will never let you go. If you talk nonsense in front of the boss again, I'm afraid I won't even know how I died." Li Chun shook her head vigorously. "Absolutely not. I swear, I promise that I can make the boss not know anything. Believe me, we are now grasshoppers on the same rope. I will never do anything stupid. Leave the boss to me. I have a way to make him never know what happened today." Zhong Meng admitted that Li Chun's words moved him. At least he didn't want to make today's matter big. If he really couldn't explain it to the boss, then he would be dead. "Why are you so confident that you can explain it?" An unfathomable smile hung on Su Yun's face. "You're too confident in your companion. We've only just started fighting, and you're already so sure that I'm the one who's going to die? Ha ha. Besides, even if you are right, if I die today, you and Zhong Meng are not with the boss. Do you think the boss is a fool? Won't he suspect you? Besides, Zhong Meng, do you really have full confidence in killing me?" "Of course," Zhong Meng said fiercely. Su Yun scoffed in disdain. "If you guys were really confident, you wouldn't have thought of using the honey trap to distract me from the beginning. Fortunately, Miss Li's charm isn't enough. If I really fell for it, I wouldn't have the ability to defend against a villain's sneak attack when I'm having sex with Miss Li on the bed." "Who are you calling a villain? Today, even if I don't sneak attack you, I will still kill you," Zhong Meng said and was about to attack again. "No," Li Chun shouted. "Brother Meng, listen to me. He can't die. If he dies, the boss will definitely suspect us. I admit that I did intentionally make an alibi when I brought you here. Now I know that I was wrong. I don't want to continue tricking you. We can't kill him." Zhong Meng's fists were almost crushed. At this moment, he really wanted to kill the two people in front of him, but the pressure and fear brought by the boss made him endure. "You are too naive. Do you really think that I will let you go?" Su Yun smiled. "Miss Li, give me a reason." Li Chun had convinced Zhong Meng. She tried to adjust her breathing and said to Su Yun, "Su Yun, we came here today to prove that we don't want you to cooperate with the boss. You also don't want to cooperate with the boss. It can be said that our goals are the same, so we should be allies." Su Yun clapped and cheered. "Go on. Since we are allies and we have a common goal, why don't we work hard for this common goal?" Li Chun said. "Believe me, I will try my best to help you find a way to make the boss stop trying to rope you in. At that time, we will all do what you want. Is that okay? Miss Li, I know you are a smart person, but I am not a fool after all." Su Yun said, "If one day the boss is convinced by you and doesn't need you to rope me in, then he will definitely kill me. How can I not know such a simple truth?" Li Chun hurriedly said, "I promise I have a way. I will help you deal with the boss." Su Yun still shook his head. "But why should I believe you? You don't have a reason for me to believe you. I believe that a person who wanted to kill me a few minutes ago will help me unless my brain is the same as his." After that, Su Yun pointed his finger at Zhong Meng. Zhong Meng was furious when he heard this. If Li Chun hadn't reached out to stop him, he would have already fought with Su Yun again. "Su Yun, you have fought with Zhong Meng just now. Although the strength of the two of you is comparable, I believe that Zhong Meng will win," Li Chun said coldly, "because his ability to resist attacks is definitely one of the best in the world, but you can't do it. Under the same situation he can survive, but you may not. Do you think it is necessary for you to continue fighting?" Su Yun was very clear about what Li Chun meant. She meant that Zhong Meng could use moves that could kill 1,000 enemies but hurt 800 of his own to deal with him. He could even use moves that could kill both of them. The one who would die like this would be Su Yun, not Zhang Meng. Of course, Su Yun also admitted to Li Chun's words. If Zhang Meng really risked being beaten badly by Su Yun to kill him, then Su Yun really couldn't do anything about it. It's a pity, Miss Li. When you first came to my room, you spent too much time talking nonsense. That gave me plenty of time to prepare. Su Yun smiled. If you really think I like one-on-one duels, you're wrong. Li Chun and Zhang Meng's expressions suddenly changed. As soon as Su Yun finished speaking, several figures appeared at the door and the window. Lin Ge, Wang Zhe, Zui Yeming, Zhang Wanning, Zhang Yongliang, a supermaster and 4 top first-class masters appeared, instantly changing the whole situation. Su Yun didn't care. He still had a faint smile on his face because when he first saw Li Chun, he knew that he was in trouble. Coincidentally, his phone was beside him. While chatting with Li Chun, he dialed Lin Ji's phone, which was placed on the side of the bed. Lin Gu naturally heard all the conversation. Su Yun wasn't a stubborn person. In the face of unknown danger, he wouldn't stupidly choose to deal with it alone. His brothers were all here. If they all faced it together, they would have the best chance of winning. Miss Li, you should know that in the snow forest of Xing and Mountain, I can't kill so many captains of your company by myself. But why are you so confident that you can kill me with Zhang Meng? Su Yun shrugged. What makes you think that I live in this hotel alone? Li Chun's expression was blank. She kept murmuring to herself, Impossible, impossible. I have checked all the guests in the surrounding rooms. How is it possible? Do we have to live next door? Do we have to live on the same floor? Su Yun said lightly, I don't know if I should say that you are smart all your life but stupid this time, or that you are too smart for your own good. Lin Gu shook his head disdainfully. Brother, if you are really smart, why can't you handle this kind of detail? To put it bluntly, you are not smart enough, but you like to overestimate yourself. You think you are smart when you are with a big boss every day, but you don't know that when you use your brain for serious things, you are far from being smart. You are good at crooked ways. I think so too. Su Yun nodded. Zhang Wanning and Zhang Yongliang were already at the door. Big brother Yun, why are we still talking to them? These 2 darn things actually dared to sneak an attack on you in the middle of the night. If we let them walk out, it would be our fault. Zhang Wanning and Zhang Yongliang were already at the door. Then let's do it. Zui Yeming rolled up his sleeves as he spoke. Although Zhang Meng's resistance was strong, he was only one person after all. Facing the fierce attacks of 2 supermasters and 4 first-class masters, he didn't even have the strength to resist, let alone fight back. Li Chun was weak and didn't need to be taken care of at all. Everyone's target was Zhang Meng. It was proven that no matter how strong a person's resistance was, he would be beaten into a pig's head in the face of a group of ruthless people. Su Yun stopped early and sat beside Li Chun to admire the scene with her. During the whole process, Li Chun didn't say a word. Perhaps death was a relief for her. After a long time, Wang Zhe said, This guy is dead. Su Yun scratched his head in annoyance. Bad luck. I can't live in this house anymore. I will check out. Pigeon, Wang Zhe, you can handle the rest. If you don't know where to send this guy, ask Miss Li and let her lead the way. Send him back to the big boss. Chapter 633. After checking out of the room, Su Yun returned to the suite that Zhuo Meiyan had originally booked. He lay on the bed and stared at the luxurious, intricate crystal chandelier on the ceiling as he fell into deep thought. Although he had been prepared for anything to happen after meeting Bao Tianxia, he had still been caught off guard. However, this sudden turn of events still caught Su Yun off guard. He had never expected Bao Tianxia's subordinates to be so wary of him. Bao Tianxia had indeed hoped that Su Yun would cooperate with him. There was no doubt about that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have tolerated Su Yun's excessive behavior. However, Bao Tianxia's subordinates didn't seem to want him to cooperate with Su Yun. Today, it had been Zhang Meng and Li Chun. Tomorrow, it would be someone else. Su Yun couldn't predict. Bao Tianxia had a high status and was extremely wealthy. Su Yun simply couldn't calculate how many people and experts he had under him. Fortunately, today's incident had happened here. Lin Guo and the others could have appeared to help him at any time. If he had been alone, the outcome would have been uncertain. Su Yun's sense of crisis gave him a headache. He already had enough trouble, but God seemed to like making things difficult for him. He just had to get himself into more trouble. If he had the chance to see God, Su Yun would definitely curse him viciously. With Lin Guo handling Zhong Meng and Li Chun's matter, Su Yun felt a lot more at ease. Su Yun was satisfied that the trouble had only come to him. The people around him hadn't been affected. At the very least, the people around him could sleep more comfortably. However, he hadn't heard from Zhua Meiyan for an entire day. Even if he wanted to calm down, he should at least go back to the hotel and rest. Just as Su Yun was thinking about this problem, Zhua Meiyan's phone call came in. "Where are you? I thought you wouldn't show up tonight." Su Yun smiled faintly. "I'm in my room, preparing to take a comfortable bath. Do you want to join me? Why did you cancel the room on the 6th floor?" Zhua Meiyan didn't joke around with Su Yun and asked in confusion. Su Yun shrugged. "It's a long story. Since you're back at the hotel, let's talk about it in the room." Since Zhua Meiyan knew that the room on the 6th floor had been cancelled, it meant that she was already in the hotel. Knowing this, Su Yun felt a lot more relaxed. Su Yun hung up the phone and got up to open the door a little. 3 minutes later, Zhua Meiyan pushed open the door and entered. "Did something happen? Why do you want to return that room? We ruined that person's plan in the Xing'an mountain range, and now that person has found me." Su Yun smiled faintly. "You didn't expect it to be so fast, right? But the world is so small. What a coincidence." Although Su Yun said it casually, Zhua Meiyan was still extremely shocked. She stared at Su Yun with wide eyes. "Even if the entire world's Interpol was mobilized, they wouldn't be able to find you so quickly. If I remember correctly, after you left Xing'an mountain range, you stayed in Beijing for a night, then went straight to Shenzhen. On the second day in Shenzhen, you came to Qingdao. You haven't stayed in one place for more than 24 hours. He found me the night I was in Beijing," Su Yun said faintly. "Too many things happened recently, so I didn't have the chance to tell you." Zhua Meiyan was indeed shocked. Su Yun had been found by the other party on that night in Beijing? Did he know Immortal? What a joke. Su Yun pointed at the bed and gestured for Zhua Meiyan to sit down. "The night I was in Beijing, I went to the spa with Lin Guo and the others to take a bath. After that, I was taken to the police station by the police. You should know about this, right? It was Feng Ying who arranged for someone to bail me out." "I know. Feng Ying asked Wang Xinyu to bail me out. She's a newcomer that Sky Entertainment started promoting last year. Her father is a famous lawyer in Beijing and has never lost a case," Zhua Meiyan said. "Is there a problem with that? Is there a problem with Wang Xinyu? No wonder I can't find her at the film set." Su Yun shook his head. "There's nothing wrong with Wang Xinyu. She was almost killed because of me." Zhua Meiyan was even more shocked. "Who did it?" "It's that big boss we offended." "Su Yun, Wang Xinyu has nothing to do with that big boss. However, Wang Xinyu's father, Lawyer Wang, has an inexplicable relationship with Boss Bao. Lawyer Wang is their company's exclusive lawyer." Su Yun took a sip of water and paused for a moment. "That night, Wang Xinyu went to pick me up. Lawyer Wang went with her. Lawyer Wang knew who I was, so he informed his boss. Everything was as simple as that, as expected. Big Boss used Lawyer Wang to give me a show of strength that night. Lawyer Wang didn't know that Big Boss would be so ruthless that he almost killed his daughter." "You mean you were with Wang Xinyu that night?" Zhua Meiyan frowned. "You didn't sleep with her because she was young, right?" "I swear to God, am I, Su Yun, that kind of person?" Su Yun rolled his eyes. "Can you listen to the main point and not think so much?" Zhua Meiyan pursed her lips and didn't say anything else. She continued to listen to Su Yun. It was such a coincidence. If the other party wanted to catch me, they would have had to wear out iron shoes. However, because those bastards from the anti-prostitution and anti-gang activities wrongly accused me, the other party didn't have to do anything. Su Yun shook his head. That night, they failed to assassinate me. I returned to Shenzhen the next day. Then how did they find you on Qingdao? Zhuo Meiyan didn't understand. What a coincidence. You were invited as soon as you arrived. Su Yun smiled bitterly. Of course, it was all thanks to Lawyer Wang. Since the big boss had arrested Wang Xinyu, Lawyer Wang would definitely tell the big boss everything he knew. It can be said that the other party knows me like the back of his hand. He knows the relationship between Sky Entertainment Corporation and me. Therefore, he concluded that I would definitely appear at Sky Entertainment Corporation's most important film and television plaza construction site. Zhuo Meiyan smiled bitterly. And then you came. Before, when no one was waiting for you at the construction site, you didn't come even once. Now that someone is preparing to make a move on you, you came. You really know how to pick the time. Isn't it because... Su Yun stopped himself from blurting out the word, you. Even if he came to Qingdao mainly for Zhuo Meiyan, he couldn't say it out loud. He didn't want Zhuo Meiyan to feel pressured. Zhuo Meiyan didn't pay much attention to it. Her mind was focused on Su Yun's trouble. Then, since you've dealt with this round of trouble, won't the other party immediately arrange for a second round of trouble? This time, the trouble wasn't arranged by that Bao guy. It was his subordinate who made the decision. Su Yun, Boss Bao arranged for someone to wait for me at the construction site this morning. He invited me over as a guest and even offered me a friendly olive branch. He hoped that I would cooperate with him. Zhuo Meiyan's face was filled with disbelief. You've already ruined such a big thing for him. He still wants to cooperate with you? Is there something wrong with his brain? Yeah. Not only did he offer me an olive branch, he even offered me 3 billion in chips. Su Yun smiled. You should understand his goal now, right? Zhuo Meiyan suddenly understood. Even though Sky Entertainment made a lot of money under her leadership, and she wasn't a woman who hadn't seen money before, 3 billion was still a terrifying number. Of course she understood the other party's intentions. If it wasn't for the greater benefits, why would he offer such a high price? He hopes that you can help him return to the ice forest in the Xing and mountain range. That's right. Su Yun nodded. The value of the land under the Paka tribe's feet is probably much higher than we expected. If he can offer me 3 billion, then he might be able to get 30 billion or even 50 billion from that land. That's all possible. Zhuo Meiyan was shocked. I didn't expect that land to be so valuable. No wonder Team 1's Captain Liu Bei betrayed him. The temptation of money is just too great. A few billion, haha. Even the world's stock gods and oil tycoons would be tempted. Su Yun said. Not to mention Team 1's Captain Liu Bei. For someone who works so hard for a big boss, the amount of money he gets every year is definitely not small. If it wasn't for the greater benefits, why would he risk his life? Zhuo Meiyan took a deep breath. Such a high price. What about you? Are you tempted? If I was tempted, I wouldn't be sitting here. Su Yun shrugged. If I agreed to the other party's conditions, I'm afraid I would already be on a plane to the Xing and mountain range. How would I have the time to chat with you? The other party is willing to offer 3 billion, but you're not willing to help him. Zhuo Meiyan smiled faintly. You're really loyal. If your brother from another race knew about this, he would definitely be moved to tears. Su Yun shook his head. I'm not just doing this for Yuan Bo and the Pekel clan. You have to know that if the Pekel clan's land is so valuable, even if it's buried forever, it'll still be Hua Xia's treasure. But once it's in the other party's hands, the country's treasures may be scattered in the hands of collectors all over the world. And those rich collectors may not even know the true value of these treasures. These treasures may represent a part of Hua Xia's history, a part of human history. These treasures are truly priceless. Zhua Meiyan smiled helplessly. You really do think about the country's interests. You're too noble. If I were you, I wouldn't be so selfless. But I'm not you. I'm the woman behind you. No matter what you do, I'll support you unconditionally. I'm very happy that you can say that, Su Yun said with a smile. Zhua Meiyan reached out to touch Su Yun's face. Actually, I know why you came to Qingdao. Su Yun was taken aback. My mental state has finally broken through, Zhua Meiyan said. Zhua Meiyan said, this morning, I rented a speedboat and went to the deep sea to relax for a day. I could clearly feel the feeling of having a breakthrough in my mental state. My body is much more relaxed now. I'm no longer a first-rate expert who's stuck at the beginner's level. It feels great to break through that bottleneck. Su Yun's expression was one of shock. He hadn't expected Zhua Meiyan to break through so quickly. Then I really have to congratulate you. Only congratulations? Zhua Meiyan's eyes were hazy. My mental state has broken through, and there won't be any danger. Are you still willing to do that thing with me? What thing? Su Yun played dumb. Zhua Meiyan suddenly took off her jacket and pushed Su Yun onto the bed. She straddled him. What do you think? Chapter 634. Shower first? A couple's bath. Do you want to try it? Zhua Meiyan's eyes were hazy. No man would be able to resist this kind of blatant seduction. I'll shower after it's over. Su Yun suddenly exerted strength from his waist and flipped Zhua Meiyan over. Since he had already broken through that layer of window paper, there was no need for him to be shy. What should have happened last night had already happened. Once, twice, and 10 times were only different in terms of quantity, but the essence was the same. If she still wanted to control her emotions, then she would be acting pretentious. Zhua Meiyan, who was being pressed under him, cooperated and closed her eyes. She was waiting for the only man she could rely on in the world to eat her up bit by bit. Su Yun also didn't have the same madness as yesterday. His gentle foreplay caused Zhua Meiyan to completely sink into her writhing body and uncontrollable moans. She only felt that everything in the world had become so wonderful that words couldn't describe it. It was as if all of her senses had been infinitely magnified. Every place that Su Yun had kissed her seemed to have a new life. For many years, Zhua Meiyan had lived for this man. Today, she had finally gotten what she wanted. She had given her entire being to this man in front of her. She had no regrets in this life. I really didn't expect. You're actually such a romantic person. Zhua Meiyan enjoyed the pleasure that Su Yun brought her. She also selflessly expressed her love and everything about herself to Su Yun. She crazily kissed every inch of Su Yun's skin, not hiding her love for Su Yun. The madness continued. Everything was so natural. When the conditions were right, success would follow naturally, making everything beautiful. With the experience, the two of them quickly found a kind of indescribable happiness in the torment of the clouds and rain. They wholeheartedly enjoyed the satisfaction that this pleasure brought them. Everything else in the world was thrown to the back of their minds. When exhaustion invaded every inch of Su Yun's skin, only then did his magnificent army roar out, charging and breaking through the enemy lines. Zhua Meiyan, who had long lost her strength, could only allow Su Yun to attack the city. She enjoyed the pleasure of falling into the enemy's hands. Everything about her had already belonged to Su Yun last night. No matter how Su Yun treated her, she would gladly accept and enjoy it. After an unknown amount of time, the two of them slept in each other's arms. What happened to the promised couple's bath? After waking up early in the morning, Su Yun stretched lazily. He heard the sound of water in the bathroom. Zhua Meiyan, who was beside him, was no longer there. Su Yun walked straight to the bathroom. Zhua Meiyan had just finished bathing and was startled by Su Yun's sudden intrusion. Even though what should have happened had already happened, Zhua Meiyan still shyly used a bath towel to cover her body. She asked with a face full of embarrassment, "What are you doing? You can't do this so early in the morning. I can't take it." Even if you can't take it, it should be me. Su Yun laughed bitterly. I'm just here to take a bath. I definitely don't have any other thoughts. Annoying. Xuanmian rarely had this kind of girlish shyness. She hurriedly left the bathroom. When Su Yun was bathing, she left a note and left the room. When Su Yun came out of the bath and drank a large cup of cold water, he saw the note left by Xuanmian. There is an important matter in Ji Bei waiting for me to deal with. Now Wang Zhe has taken me to the highway back to Ji Bei. I have told Zui Yeming everything about Qin Island. He will do his best to cooperate with Tang Jiu. If the matter in Ji Bei is settled smoothly, I hope you can invite me to Shenzhen to celebrate the New Year with you during the year-end holidays. Su Yun smiled slightly. No matter what, Xuanmian would not trouble him. She would do her best to deal with things that she could deal with. After so many years, Su Yun really felt guilty. Xuanmian had done too many things for him, so much so that he did not even know how many things she had done for him. It was getting late. Su Yun got dressed and prepared to go out to ask Lin Ge how things went last night. However, what Su Yun did not expect was that Lin Ge was not in the room. His phone was turned off. Last night, he only cared about enjoying the pleasure of 9 heavens and did not think about these things at all. Su Yun had a bad feeling. He immediately knocked on Zui Yeming and the Zhang brothers' room to ask. They said that they did not hear Lin Ge come back before they went to bed last night. Su Yun's heart was in his throat. He had a strong sense of foreboding. If he had known this would happen, he would not have let Lin Ge deal with the matter last night. Su Yun should have known that Li Chun was full of tricks. Letting her show Lin Ge the way back was a completely wrong decision. Damn it! Su Yun's fist slammed heavily against the wall. His vexation made his mood very bad. Last night, he was so focused on making love that he did not think to ask about his brother's situation. If something had happened to Lin Ge last night, Su Yun would definitely regret it. Seeing Su Yun's current mood, Zui Yeming was a little worried. He comforted him, "Brother-in-law, don't think about it. Pigeon is not a child. He can take care of himself. Maybe he went to pick up a girl on the way home last night. Or maybe he went on a date with Momo. Or maybe he met a female confidant. Maybe he's still in the land of love. I know what kind of person he is better than you do. After he does something, he will definitely let me know first. He will definitely not disappear for no reason. Su Yun, I will go look for him. You guys take care of yourselves. Brother Yun, we will go with you, Zhang Wanning said. Su Yun raised his hand. You just need to take care of Tang Jiu and the 2 children. Some things are harder to solve with more people. The Zhang brothers did not say anything else. They just nodded. Zui Yeming, don't tell your sister about the trouble on Guqin Island. I hope she can focus on the matters in northern Ji. If it wasn't for something urgent, she wouldn't have left in such a hurry. Su Yun, you just need to do what she told you before she left. Don't interfere with anything else. Zui Yeming nodded helplessly. But, brother-in-law, I am a little worried about you going to look for Pigeon alone. You weren't even born when I could do things on my own. Su Yun, don't worry about me. Take care of yourself. Don't make me worry. That is the biggest help you can give me. Zui Yeming shrugged. Then don't worry. I will cooperate with President Tang. Don't worry about Guagua and Bu Fifen. I will take care of them. I will use my head to guarantee their safety. You don't have to be distracted. Zui Yeming's expression was very serious. Then I will leave it to you. Su Yun patted Zui Yeming's arm and turned to leave. Zhang Yongliang took out a car key and handed it to Su Yun. Su Yun did not stand on ceremony. He took the key and hurried downstairs. Guagua and Bu Fifen were too tired from playing yesterday. They were still in bed and had no idea what had happened. The world of children was always naive. They would not think about so many troublesome things. Su Yun would let them live a carefree life and solve all their problems for them. The voices in the corridor woke Tang Jiu up. When she opened the door, she saw Su Yun's back. She asked in confusion, "What's wrong? Did something happen? President Tang. Zhang Wanning and Zhang Yongliang saw Tang Jiu open the door and greeted her. Good morning. Tang Jiu was very polite to them. Zhuo Yeming smiled. President Tang, it's nothing. Brother Yun just went to deal with some personal matters. Haha, there's something else I need to tell you. Something urgent happened at Sky Entertainment Group, so my sister took Wang Zhe back early in the morning. It might take a few days, so if you need anything in the future, just look for me. I'll do my best to cooperate with you. Tang Jiu nodded. Thank you. Actually, Sky Entertainment Group gave me the project. I should be in charge of it. I am sorry to trouble you. Don't be sorry. We are all doing this for the same purpose. Zhuo Yeming's words were very mature. It seemed that this little bird that left his sister's side could fly very high. Perhaps this was a good opportunity for him to train alone. Guagua and Bu Fifan finally woke up. They opened their doors and looked at the people chatting in the corridor. Guagua said sleepily, "Are you going to have a morning meeting? Why don't I see my daddy?" Does the leader have to come out at the end to conclude? Guagua, your daddy went out to deal with some personal matters. He will be back soon. Zhuo Yeming said, "You can play with your uncle today." I don't want to play with you. I don't know you that well. Guagua stuck out her tongue. Where is my Uncle Pigeon? Zhuo Yeming was rebuked by this little girl, but he couldn't get angry. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Your Uncle Pigeon, went out with your daddy to deal with some personal matters. So, you have to bear with it and play with your uncle today. Guagua still shook her head. Uncle Wang Zhe should be here, right? What the hell? Am I not even as important as Wang Zhe in your heart? Zhuo Yeming was really hurt by Guagua's words. Anyway, I'm your god uncle, am I not? I know this relationship is a bit far-fetched, but logically speaking, this is how it should be. I am your god uncle, but you don't like me? Guagua stuck out her tongue. You are not my mother's biological brother. Then my sister is your godmother, right? Zhuo Yeming couldn't find any advantage in arguing with this little girl. Bu Fifan walked over. His comforting words to Guagua were very effective. It's okay. I will play with you. Where do you want to go? I will take you there. Even if I don't know where it is, I can call my brothers to pick us up. Don't even think about it. I will never let you go out alone. Zhuo Yeming didn't expect these two little guys to be so troublesome. Bu Fifan and Guagua said in unison, "It's none of your business." Tang Jiu saw that Zhuo Yeming couldn't handle these two little guys at all, so he hurriedly stood up. This is your father's order. You will follow me today. Guagua, if you still recognize me as your sister, then listen to me. Guagua held Tang Jiu's hand coquettishly. Of course I recognize you. No matter what, you will always be my sister. Hee. I won't go anywhere today. I will go to the construction site with Sister Xiao Jiu to learn work experience. That will be fine. Tang Jiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No one could do anything to her. Perhaps only someone with Su Yun's aura could really control such a monstrous little thing. Bu Fifan was more sensible. Seeing that Guagua was no longer stubborn, he became obedient. I am hungry. Let's go eat. Guagua's stomach growled. Bu Fifan pulled Guagua back. Go back to your room and wash up first. You still have your eye boogers. Chapter 635. Su Yun had a deep impression of the roads he had taken, so he quickly found Bao Tianxia's clubhouse. Bao Tianxia seemed to have known that Su Yun was coming, since the guards at the entrance did not stop him and allowed Su Yun to drive in. After the car stopped, someone personally came to open the door for Su Yun. Mr. Su, the big boss is waiting for you in the guest room. This way, please. Su Yun did not speak any nonsense. Since Bao Tianxia was waiting for him so early, he was certain that Lin Guo was in Bao Tianxia's hands. Bao Tianxia truly had some skills. After all, Lin Gu was an expert trained by the demon god, and he had a high reputation in the assassin world. Yet, he actually fell into Bao Tianxia's hands. Although Bao Tianxia didn't have any strength, he must have hidden dragons and crouching tigers under him. Thus, the person who opened the door for Su Yun wasn't someone simple. If Bao Tianxia could predict that Su Yun would come here, then he was very clear about Su Yun's purpose. He definitely wasn't here to discuss any cooperation with him, but to ask for someone. At this moment, Su Yun's heart was filled with rage. Before he even got out of the car, he had already sent a kick out. The other party was clearly prepared. He blocked Su Yun's kick with both arms and blocked it. His fist turned into a palm and directly grabbed Su Yun's ankle. He suddenly exerted force to drag Su Yun out of the car. However, Su Yun wasn't someone to be trifled with. The moment his left ankle was grabbed, he held onto the steering wheel with one hand. The other party used a lot of strength and pulled him horizontally, causing the 2-ton car to tilt. Su Yun quickly reacted. He pulled back his left leg and sent a kick at the other party's face with his right leg. The other party had no choice but to release his grip on his left ankle. The other party took 2 steps back to give Su Yun some space to land on the ground and cupped his fists in admiration. No wonder the big boss admires you. I'm ashamed of my inferiority. Mr. Su, the big boss is still waiting for you. You're a great person who doesn't mind a small person like me. Don't waste your time with me. Su Yun's eyes were filled with murderous intent. At this moment, the humble man standing in front of him was definitely not someone to be trifled with. This flexible man was definitely more terrifying than Zhang Meng, a martial artist. Since I'm already here, there's no need to talk about wasting time. Su Yun smiled. Since Big Boss arranged for you to welcome me, he naturally knew what I would do. Big Boss is really clever. He gave me an invisible show of strength. Mr. Su, you worry too much, the other party said indifferently, but there was not a single part of his body that was not prepared for defense. Su Yun really didn't want to waste any more time. Even if he defeated one of them, there would definitely be a second or third person standing up. Su Yun did not believe that Lin Gu would fall into the hands of a single person. With Lin Ji's skills, if Bao Tianxia wanted to control him, only an expert would be able to do it. Please. The other party's driver saw through Su Yun's thoughts. He took a step back, lowered his defense, and bowed in an inviting gesture. Su Yun slammed the door and walked into the club alone. It was Su Yun's second time here, so he was very familiar with the place. He strode toward the reception room where he met Bao Tianxia yesterday. As soon as he pushed the door open, he saw Li Chun, who was kneeling on one knee and brewing tea. In an instant, Su Yun's heart was filled with hostility. If it wasn't for his carelessness, Lin Gu would not be under the control of this damned place. Ha 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 ha, brother Su, I didn't expect that we would meet so soon. Bao Tianxia laughed. Man proposes, God disposes. I thought that the next time Brother Su came to me would be after the new year. I didn't expect that you would come today. How about it? Have you considered it? Su Yun chuckled. Big boss, you know why I'm here. Don't play dumb. Bao Tianxia was stunned. Brother Su, if you're not here to talk about cooperation, why would you come to me for something else? Ha ha ha, if we can't even reach a basic consensus, what else can we talk about? Big boss, since I'm here, let's be frank. There's no need to beat around the bush and waste time. Su Yun glanced at Li Chun. Since Miss Li is standing in front of you, what else don't you know? Bao Tianxia walked to the sofa and sat down. He picked up a cup of tea that Li Chun had just poured. Come, Brother Su. Try my Tiguanyin first. This tea is directly supplied to Beijing's Foreign Affairs Center. Ordinary people can't drink it. It's specially for foreign guests. You have a lot of face here, right? Big boss, my patience is limited. Su Yun didn't sit down to taste the tea with Bao Tianxia. This seemed to make Bao Tianxia feel very embarrassed. Bao Tianxia looked at Su Yun and didn't speak for a long time. Li Chun smiled and said lightly, Boss Su, Big Boss sincerely wants to invite you to taste the tea. He knows that you love tea, so he took out his favorite tea to entertain you. If it was in the past, Su Yun might really be in the mood to taste the top-grade tea guanyin. But now, he really wasn't in the mood at all. His brother was still missing. Asking Su Yun to sit down and drink tea? How could he be in the mood to taste the bitterness and fragrance of the tea? Miss Lee, if you knew what kind of person I hate the most in my life, you wouldn't do such a sinister thing. Su Yun, my people came with you last night. Now you're here safe and sound, but I can't see my people. If this is how you treat your guests, then I think I have nothing to talk about with Big Boss. Su Yun came prepared to shed all pretense of cordiality. He didn't care what the other party did to him, but he didn't want to hurt the people around him. Otherwise, Su Yun could do anything. Brother Su, I think there must be some misunderstanding between us. Big Boss said, in fact, the person who should be angry today is me, not you. I can calmly invite you to a cup of tea. Why are you not willing to do me the honor? After saying that, Big Boss clapped his hands. The guy who opened the door for Su Yun just now opened the door and directly threw Zhang Meng's body in. Su Yun glanced at it and then looked at Bao Tianxia again. His mood eased a little. At least the other party only threw one body in, not two. Finally, Su Yun could conclude that Lin Guo was not killed. He sat on the sofa opposite Bao Tianxia and took a sip of tea. Big Boss, I drank the tea and gave you face. Shouldn't you return my people to me? Brother Su, you also grew up in Huaxia, right? Huaxia is a country that pays attention to the legal system. You should know this, right? Big Boss said in surprise, you have to pay with your life for killing someone. Brother Su should know this basic principle. Su Yun knew that Bao Tianxia wanted to negotiate with him first. Boss Bao, if you really know the law and know what it means to pay with your life for killing someone, then shouldn't you calculate how many times you have to pay with your life? How many times do you have to be shot? Bao Tianxia actually thought about it seriously. Then he grinned at Su Yun. I'm afraid that even if you use the world's largest gun to shoot me, it still won't be enough to pay with my life. Brother Su, your question is too good. I'm afraid I'll have to find a math expert to calculate it. Big Boss, I don't want to waste my breath on you. Su Yun, if it weren't for your people trying to assassinate me in the middle of the night, he wouldn't have died in front of you. You know very well what your subordinates are like. You also know very well what your people have done. Don't deceive yourself. Let my people go, and we can discuss anything. Brother Su, I offered you 3 billion yuan in chips, but you refused to discuss it with me. Now, you're only willing to discuss it with me if I let one person go? How do you expect me to believe you? Bao Tianxia smiled and shook his head. It's not that I don't want to believe you, but I really don't think that a brother's life is worth more than 3 billion yuan. Su Yun said coldly, we're not the same kind of people, so you don't know what I'm thinking. Big Boss, you just want me to cooperate with you, but have you ever thought that your people don't want me to cooperate with you? After saying that, Su Yun glanced at Li Chun, who was standing at the side. Bao Tianxia suddenly understood and nodded. Yes, yes, yes. Brother Su, I still have one more thing to explain to you. Li Chun brought Zhang Meng to find you last night because I told him to. Yesterday, I already knew that Zhang Meng didn't want you to come, so I just wanted to test him. I didn't expect that this brat would really dare to kill you. Since he really dared to kill you, I'll give him to you for you to deal with. It's a small token of my appreciation. Ha ha ha, Brother Su Yun, you should know that I don't like stupid people. Su Yun broke out in a cold sweat. It turned out that there was a bigger conspiracy and calculation behind all this. Li Chun had been acting all along, even until the last moment. They already knew that Su Yun's people were not the only ones in the hotel. Letting Zhang Meng come to find trouble with him was to let Zhang Meng die. I won't allow any of my people to go against my will. Bao Tianxia said, I wanted you to come, but Zhang Meng didn't. He went against my will, so he deserved to die. Ha ha ha, It seems that little Lee is getting more and more skillful at following my instructions. Yesterday, when I realized that you knew that I didn't want to give you the cigarettes, I arranged a good show last night. Brother Sue, how was it? Wasn't it wonderful? Wonderful, it was really wonderful. Soo-yoon felt like there was a big stone in his heart. This old fox was more difficult to deal with than he thought. It seems that I underestimated Miss Lee from the beginning. She's not just a flower vase with IQ. If we really fight, I'm afraid that even I won't be her opponent. Lee Chun smiled. Boss Sue, you think too highly of me. If I had the ability, I wouldn't have to go through so much trouble to invite you. Soo-yoon sneered and stared at Lee Chun. Thousand Faces Guanyin, does your teacher know that you're so modest? Lee Chun's expression suddenly changed. She was really surprised that Soo-yoon could say her name. Even Bao Tianxia didn't expect that Soo-yoon would know so much. That's right, Lee Chun was the ruthless character known as Thousand Faces Guanyin in the underground world. Chapter 636. Boss Sue is indeed not a simple person. Thousand-faced Guanyin Lee Chun didn't deny her identity. She had a strange smile on her face. I admit defeat. Until now, I still haven't figured out what kind of immortal Boss Sue is. But now, I've revealed my identity. I admit defeat. How would they know Soo-yun's identity? He wasn't from the underground world. Although Flame Dragon was famous, no one knew what he looked like. This was because those who were personally dealt with by Soo-yoon were either dead or imprisoned in Marty Franz Island's serious criminals prison, unable to escape for eternity. Clap, clap, clap. Bao Tianxia clapped his hands and said with emotion, I admire you. Many people who thought they were very powerful didn't know the true identity of Thousand-Faced Guanyin until they died in her hands. But younger brother Sue was able to see through her identity on the second day we met. Now, I don't just admire younger brother Sue. I admire him. I really admire him. Soo-yoon knew who Bao Tianxia meant by, didn't know the true identity of Thousand-Faced Guanyin until they died in her hands. He glanced at Zhang Meng's body and said indifferently, if Boss Sue compared me to that kind of person, he wouldn't have offered me such a high price. Ha ha ha. Brother Sue, what can I say about you? Bao Tianxia was still emotional. I really don't know who you are to make someone trained by the evil god follow you and work for you so willingly. Also, you have an inextricable relationship with the late Zhang Taisui. I'm really surprised. Soo-yun's eyes flashed with coldness. Boss, since you already know that the person you caught is a disciple trained by the evil god, why don't you hurry up and let her go? Do you really want to make things go out of control? When that time comes, no one will get any benefits, including you. Maybe you'll become a beggar with nothing. Bao Tianxia smiled calmly. Yes, the evil god isn't someone to be trifled with. Suddenly, Bao Tianxia's expression changed. He said viciously, but, am I, Bao Tianxia, someone to be trifled with? Ha 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 ha. Soo-yoon had a deep understanding of Bao Tianxia over the past 2 days. This was his most profound understanding of Bao Tianxia. A man who could be said to be powerless in front of an expert actually dared to say such words. In Bao Tianxia's eyes, a legendary figure who could shock countless underground experts just by mentioning the name of his disciple, CFAIs, was also someone who could be provoked. If CFAIs can really come, I would like to exchange blows with this person who is known as the world's #1 assassin. The guy who stood at the door and greeted Soo-yoon smiled slightly, as if he didn't put CFAIs, the world's #1 assassin, in his eyes. Lee Chun glanced at that guy and said indifferently, don't be so arrogant. Last night, just one of CFAI's junior brothers made us suffer. I really don't know where your confidence comes from. Flying Wolf, if you weren't so arrogant, I think the big boss would value you more. Flying Heavenly Wolf, Xiang Dong, was also a famous super expert in the underground world. He had always come and gone without a trace. Soo-yoon never thought that this guy would be working under Bao Tianxia. Bao Tianxia, Oh Bao Tianxia, how many shocking things do you have that people don't know about? I heard a lot of people say that flying wolf Xiang Dong is a lone wolf who likes to be alone. Su Yun smiled. I didn't think that a lone wolf would be tamed one day. It seems that a lot of the rumors in the underground world can't be trusted. There are fewer and fewer people with integrity in the underground world. Xiang Dong smiled disdainfully. Integrity? What is integrity? In this society, only those with money have the right to speak. Integrity is nothing. Xiang Dong, how can you say that? My brother Su is a person with integrity. I admire him. I admire his integrity too much. Bao Tianxia stood up and spoke up for Su Yun. I also admire what the big boss admires. Xiang Dong smiled. It's just that I admire you more, big boss. You can turn someone with integrity into someone without integrity. Ha ha, that's the most amazing thing. What do you think, big boss? Bao Tianxia waved his hand. Don't say that I'm so amazing. I'm not the kind of person who likes to force people to do things they don't like. Big boss, I've said what I need to say. I just want to know where my brother is. Su Yun said indifferently, if you really respect me and hope that I'll consider working with you, then you have to respect me and let me know that my people are fine. Bao Tianxia said with certainty, of course your people are fine. I can guarantee that, but how can you guarantee that you'll really consider working with me? Brother Su, it's not that I don't believe you, but I really don't see any sincerity in you to cooperate with me. How do you want me to guarantee it? Su Yun asked. Bao Tianxia touched his chin and shook his head. I really can't think of anything. Xiao Li, Xiang Dong, help me think. That's easy. Xiang Dong sneered. Since Mr. Su is so loyal, why don't you leave 2 of your fingers as collateral? Mr. Su, don't worry. I'll definitely store your fingers at a low temperature. As long as you give the big boss an answer within 48 hours, I'll invite the best doctor to reconnect your fingers. You'll still be a healthy person by then. Ruthless. Ruthless. Su Yun clenched his fists so hard that they made cracking sounds. Xiang Dong pretended to be surprised. If your fingers are reconnected, I'm afraid that Mr. Su won't be able to clench them so hard in the future, right? You should really enjoy the feeling of having healthy fingers now. Xiang Dong. Brother Su is my VIP. Get out of here. How can I treat Brother Su like this? Watch your mouth. Don't be rude just because you did something for me yesterday. Bao Tianxia said sternly. Do you think that Mr. Su is the same as those ordinary bastards? Bastard. Although he was scolded by the big boss, Xiang Dong wasn't angry at all. He still stood at the side as if nothing had happened. He just didn't say anything. Big boss, I have an idea. I don't know if you'll agree to it. Li Chun suddenly said. Su Yun sneered in his heart. He would rather cut off 2 of Xiang Dong's fingers than let this woman come up with an idea. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to guess what this sinister woman was thinking. Say it. Bao Tianxia had a special regard for Li Chun. The thousand-faced Guanyin was definitely not just for show. Li Chun calmly said, let Mr. Su save them himself. If they're really brothers, this isn't difficult at all. If Mr. Su is just saying it, then there's no need to save them. We don't need to wait for the evil god to arrange for CFAIs to save them. We can just make them disappear. Bao Tianxia laughed strangely. Li Chun was indeed a smart person he admired. Little Li, you're really making things difficult for Brother Su. Xiang Dong laughed dryly. No wonder people say that a woman's heart is the most poisonous. Thousand-faced Guanyin, aren't you a little too cruel? Su Yun didn't think much of this, but after Bao Tianxia and Xiang Dong said it, he felt that this matter wasn't that simple. Where exactly was Lin Gu locked up? How should he save him? This was the biggest problem Su Yun was facing now. Then you should at least tell me where my brother is locked up, right? Su Yun said coldly. Bao Tianxia was stunned. Brother Su Yun, don't be in a hurry to make a decision. I'll tell you where he is, but before that, I want to show you something else. Come with me. Big boss, maybe I shouldn't reject your kindness, but I'm really not in the mood now. Su-yun, let me know where my brother is first. I'll take you there now. Don't be in a hurry. Xiangdong opened the door for everyone. This time, Bao Qianxia didn't say anything more to Su-yun. Instead, he walked straight out. Li Chun walked to the door and made an inviting gesture. Boss Su, let's go. Su-yun knew that he was in a passive situation, so he could only go along with Bao Qianxia's wishes. Although he didn't know what Bao Qianxia wanted to show him, it should be something related to Lin Gu. There was no harm in learning more about it. Soon, Bao Qianxia led Su-yun to the natural lake in his feng shui location. Li Chun and Xiangdong followed closely behind. Bao Qianxia looked at the beautiful lake in front of him and said, "Brother Su, what do you think of my place? Isn't it very good?" Actually, feng shui is a very interesting thing. Brother Su-yun, are you interested in discussing it with me? What exactly is missing from my place? Big boss, don't tell me you want me to enjoy the final scenery? Su-yun smiled. I know that your place has good feng shui, but now isn't the time to discuss it. Bao Qianxia nodded. Yes, that's right. I didn't bring Brother Su here to discuss feng shui. Xiangdong, go get a horse. Xiangdong quickly went to the back of the club. Su-yun hadn't seen the stable at the back before. When he saw the horse, Su-yun was surprised. Bao Qianxia had a lot of hobbies. People who raised horses in this era were the same as in ancient times. They had to be rich to be able to raise them. Moreover, horses nowadays were probably worth more than ordinary cars. Xiangdong brought the horse in front of Bao Qianxia. Bao Qianxia gently stroked the horse's back and said, "My good horse, I love you very much. But today, I need you to perform for me, Su-yun. Go." After saying that, Bao Qianxia slapped the horse's back. The horse immediately bolted and dashed into the lake. It wasn't rare for horses to swim. Therefore, Su-yun didn't think that Bao Qianxia was just showing him the scene of his horse swimming. Big boss, if you have something to say, just say it. Su-yun's patience was wearing thin bit by bit. Shoo. Bao Qianxia put a finger to his lips to stop Su-yun from making a sound. Bao Qianxia's expression was very serious. Su-yun couldn't understand what Bao Qianxia wanted him to see. Just as Su-yun was puzzled, a black shadow suddenly emerged from the lake. In the blink of an eye, the horse that had been swimming happily just a moment ago disappeared from their sight. Only bloodstains were left on the lake. Hiss. Su-yun sucked in a breath of cold air. What the hell was that? He didn't even get a clear look before it disappeared completely. It swallowed the entire horse in one gulp. Damn it! Could it be a whale? But this was a freshwater lake. It couldn't possibly be a sea creature. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.